Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember where we are in Proverbs?
It feels like it's been forever, but I know that we just did Proverbs 19.
Yep.
And it's all a bunch of it's still just the black and white.
Good is good, bad is bad.
I mean, there's really nothing more to it other than that. It
Don't
is what
trust
it
a
is.
honey-lipped woman. Stay on the path.
Right, yeah. All that wonderful shit. Before we get into what we're doing today, though, I do have one thing I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
We have a friend, patron, that's going through some rough times right now. I just wanted to let them know that we're thinking about them and we wish them the best. And I hope everybody else is wishing them the best too, because they're a really great person. So
yeah,
that's all. Just wanted to say my 2 cents there real quick. And
we're
they know who they
are.
are. Didn't want to say a name on the podcast to call anybody out, but we are thinking about you.
Yep.
So that being said, what are we getting into today?
Today we are reading Proverbs Chapter 20.
All right, let's go do this.
Okie dokie. Okay, so remember that one time when I was reading, I don't know if it was one of the Psalms or if it was one of these Proverbs here, and I was like, listen, this opens up like it sounds like a song.
Yes.
This one, listen, it opens up, it sounds like a song. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Is it? Wait. I forgot to ask. Is this still this is still the Solomonic Proverbs, correct?
Still the Solomonic Proverbs.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Sorry.
We've got 20, 21, and part of 22.
Part of 22.
Yes. We've got interesting times ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But for today, I just want to sing the first 2 verses here.
Have at it.
Because they sound songish because they rhyme.
Solid gold here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wine is a mocker and beer a brawler. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise. The king's wrath strikes terror like the roar of a lion. Those who anger him forfeit their lives.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So what I got out of that
wives?
is like
Don't
alcohol. Yeah.
Those rhyme good, right?
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So alcohol is bad. Was that one of the things?
Yeah.
And
don't be led astray by that alcohol.
Okay. All right. I don't agree with that. Although I don't drink that much personally.
No,
but
I don't
mean,
either.
I don't have a problem with it as long as it's in moderation and you're not stupid, you know.
I come from a family with alcoholism in its past.
Right.
My father is a recovering alcoholic. He's not had even a sip of liquor in, over 30 years.
Right.
And I would probably be an alcoholic if I was not in the life that I'm in now.
Sure.
So I just want to put it out there. Like, I can't say, don't drink a lot, make good choices.
It can definitely cause problems.
Right. It's not everybody can just make that choice.
Right.
So
right.
I get you. I hear you. I feel you. You know, that kind of thing.
But also, if you drink, we don't think you're evil.
No.
So,
I still drink. I just check with my partner to make sure that I'm not going above and beyond what is socially correct or what is like good for my body.
Right.
Because I could down me some margaritas.
Oh, you could.
Mm-hmm,
yes, you could.
So yeah, a king's wrath strikes terror like the roar of a lion. Those who anger him forfeit their lives.
Well, I mean, I can agree with that. It seems like a lot of kings were pretty terrible and killed a lot of people because
they like to roar.
They do. Yeah.
You're gonna hear them roar.
Yeah.
Oh. Katy Perry?
Yeah.
We went through a Katy Perry phase with Kid, especially that song Roar.
Right.
Oh my God. Do you remember that?
I do.
That was a great era.
Yeah. I think we got turned on to Katy Perry with the what was when she kissed a girl and she liked it?
I kissed a girl and I liked it.
At the time, that was a pretty radical song.
It was, especially with her coming from a Christian background.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. That's what got us on that kick, and obviously, Kid was much younger then, so it was, we were tempering the type of music that they would listen to, so it was all right. It was good.
Yeah.
I think we had a mix that was like appropriate for a kid or something from Katy Perry.
Because they were little,
right,
and they didn't need to know about people just going out and doing things with people,
yeah,
of any gender.
Sure.
It wasn't, FYI, it wasn't the queer factor.
No.
Just so everybody doesn't get the wrong impression.
We let them listen to that song.
Yeah.
That wasn't one of the ones that we blocked. There was some other one that was like worse on there.
Yeah, there was. But I can't remember. She had a couple of. We had to get the kid version, the Kids Bop version.
Right.
But yeah, Kid was real into Katy Perry for a while there.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It is to one's honor to avoid strife, but every fool is quick to quarrel. Quick to quarrel.
Yeah.
The quick fox.
Again,
quintessential queries.
Yeah.
About queens. What?
Oh, yeah?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know where you're going with that.
I just wanted to say...
Sounds like you're just coming up with cues.
I was, because that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
I like...
on the
movie Mr. Popper's Penguins.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And
I was thinking V for Vendetta.
Oh, yeah, that's a great scene, too.
That scene is fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, that's actually better.
Yeah.
But on Mr. Popper's Penguins, there's... what's her name? Her name's like
Piper.
Yeah, something like that. And she goes off on the peas, and it's like, holy shit, that's amazing.
Yeah, it really was.
That was really cool.
It was really good.
But V for Vendetta, definitely, that was a chilling. Like you're like, oh my god, that was amazing.
That was the first movie you and I ever saw together in theater.
It was.
We saw it at the Danbury Dollar Saver, which no longer exists.
Yeah.
And you took me there. You'd already seen it, and you were like, "You're gonna love this movie." And I feel like you were judging me to see if I would like it, and you were like, "If you don't like this movie, I'm gonna break up with you." I feel like that is what was happening. I was enthralled. I thought that movie was fantastic, and I cried during the power scene when she lifted her arms in freedom. I bawled.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
If you haven't seen it, definitely watch that.
Yeah. It's not for everybody, and there are some things that don't hold up well over time, but generally speaking, yes.
Sure.
Like now, we're not happy that she was held against her will and that kind of thing.
Sure.
And yes, obviously, you don't kidnap a person and throw them in a cellar to try to convince them of your side.
But also, he was not meant to be a correct person either.
Right.
So, I mean,
he was definitely a vigilante, and she changed him as well.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Proverbs.
Best movie.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Sluggards do not plow in season, so at harvest time they look but find nothing. Because, they were sluggards. Because
they're lazy,
Yeah, lazy bastards.
But apparently they could find, then last time we read, they could find a path to get caught up in the thorns.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was.
But let me ask you this. If a sluggard ain't out there plowing, do you think they're going to bother going out at harvest time and walking around looking for shit?
Probably not.
Yeah. I don't think that's
either way, it's going to be bad.
They know that there's nothing out there.
Right.
They're not going for that walk.
Yeah.
They ain't looking.
Right.
They're lazy. They're sluggards.
Yeah.
They're going to their neighbor saying, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
You got an extra bowl of soup for wifey. The purposes of a person's heart are deep waters, but one who has insight draws them out.
Okay. They said that almost exactly the same in the last chapter.
Did they? Deep waters. I don't recall.
I remember them saying that.
Huh.
But yeah, whatever.
Okay.
It is what it is. What? See, this is where I got hung up last time. They're getting at what the
tip of the iceberg. Time? It's the purposes of a person's heart are deep waters, meaning you don't know what's happening within a person's heart, but one who has insight draws them out.
Okay.
So like me and you are talking, I don't know what's happening in your heart, but if I just have insight,
you could draw it out.
I could force you. I could be V for Vendetta and get you to to find freedom on your own.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go. Full circle.
Right. That sounds very narcissistic and
right.
Like you're pretty full of yourself if you think you can do that to somebody.
I'm just a good listener. That's what they say. Many claim to have unfailing love, but a faithful person who can find here.
Oh, what?
Here.
Yeah.
I'm a faithful person.
I am too.
Do you have unfailing love?
I do.
I also have unfailing love. So I just found, without even trying, 2 faithful people.
Yeah.
I found them.
It's crazy.
There they are.
Weird.
Right here.
Yeah.
In our living room. Figure the odds.
Right. It's odd.
The righteous lead blameless lives. Blessed are their children after them. You hear that, kid?
Yeah. Although I do recall some stories
where their
of
children
sons
sucked.
that were not blessed.
I remember some sons that picked up sticks on the wrong day and got smoked.
Yeah.
Or they didn't pick up sticks
that
on
was
the
lighting
wrong
the
day.
wrong incense.
They wrote I always get them mixed up.
Yeah.
They did something bad and they got smoked and it wasn't that bad.
Right.
But, I mean, Aaron was
Aaron did also make a golden calf.
Yeah, but
so
one might argue
completely blameless.
But one might argue that there were particular people following the religion that went for that sort of thing.
It's true. That's true.
So I don't necessarily
blame them for that.
Yeah, I don't think Aaron was necessarily a bad guy.
And Moses did when he came down and had him murdered.
Yeah.
So
Moses had him murdered.
He was like, yeah, I'm blaming you for that.
Yep.
Even though one of the commandments is thou shalt not kill.
The first one, I think.
We're gonna go ahead and kill you.
Yeah.
So right after I get done talking to God.
I think Moses was a shit. And
I agree.
think that Aaron got the raw end of the deal. But most of all, I think that their sister Miriam got the worst part of it.
Yep.
When a king sits on his throne to judge, he winnows out all evil with his eyes. Wow.
That's some powerful eyes there. I
think,
don't even know what to say.
Do you think he has Betty Davis eyes?
No, definitely not.
Neither.
Definitely not.
Who can say, I've kept my heart pure. I am clean and without sin.
I mean, probably not many people.
Probably nobody, honestly.
Yeah.
Because everybody fucks up.
If you're asking, yeah, we all screw up.
Everybody makes mistakes.
And
some of us make bad choices.
If you never made a mistake, that's kind of boring, actually.
You're not human.
Right?
You're not human. And also, I think you're probably lying.
Like, there's this saying that literally says everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a thing.
Yeah. So there.
Yeah.
Differing weights and differing measures. The Lord detests them both. The Lord don't like no cheaters.
He cares about them weights and measures.
He does not like no cheaters.
Yeah.
Don't be cheating.
That must be a really important job those people have, the weights and measurements office.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Because apparently the Lord cares about their job.
Well, yeah.
You are doing the Lord's work here.
I mean, if you think about it, like, that was very important to their daily lives.
Right.
So that's why they make such a point of recording that stuff in the Bible.
No, I get it. I get why it's in the Bible. I think it's funny that they ascribe it to God, though.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah. They're like, don't be a cheater, you shit. And then they're like, cheaters never win. And then they're like, you know what? Cheaters are going to fucking go to hell. And then they're like, the Lord don't like no cheaters.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even small children are known by their actions. So is their conduct really pure and upright?
What? I heard it. But what? They're known by their actions. So is there? I mean, if their actions are pure and upright, then and they're still known by them, I guess then that would, like, there's no. It's a horrible question. Like, what's the question there?
It's like if you leave a plate of cookies and you tell kids, don't eat those cookies. And you leave them on the table and they just came out of the oven. They smell so good. Yeah. And, the 3-year-old, right? Yeah. You think the 3-year-old's not going to eat that cookie?
Oh, hell no.
Do you think that he's a bad kid if he eats that cookie?
But like, I'm assuming they're getting at the fact that, like, kids are always getting into trouble. Mm-hmm. Is that what they're saying there, maybe?
I guess.
It's a stupid question.
It is. Like,
of course kids are always getting in trouble. They're testing their bounds.
And it's like, well, I mean, no.
Right.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because they're human and humans suck.
Right.
And the question is, do you teach them better to make good choices? And, do you love them and give them a safety net for when they inevitably fall down?
Right.
Like, what kind of parent are you?
Yeah.
The question is not about the kid. The question is about the parent.
Right. How do you handle it when they fall? How do you handle it when they
make bad choices?
Right.
How do you handle it when they realize that they've made bad choices that you let them make, and then they come to you for help, and you have to hug them and hold them without saying, "I told you so."
Right.
Because sometimes, you have to let people make their own choices.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the question should be about the parenting, not the child.
Right.
Ears that hear and eyes that see, the Lord has made them both. Did he also make the ears that don't hear and the eyes that don't see?
That's a great question. And, I just got done listening to a guy talk about evolution and how all these things are like your eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
The octopus actually has much better eyes than humans do.
They have way better construction.
Yeah, it's a much better construction. It's much more accurate. You don't have blind spots. There's so many things that are so much better in an octopus's eye than in a human's eye.
Yep.
And why would God not create our eyes to be the most perfect version of eyes?
Right.
Right. And also we have things like an extra muscle in the back of our foot. And why would we have an extra muscle there that does nothing? Literally does nothing.
Right.
And there's not only that, but there's humans that have different that are missing certain things that other humans have.
Right.
They've evolved past having these things.
Or some people are born with their organs on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Or some kids are born without a heart or a brain, and it's tragic because they're either stillborn or they're forced to be carried to birth, and it's tragic for everybody involved.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's plenty of examples of how we are always and still evolving as a human species, let alone talking about other forms of life that evolve much quicker because they reproduce much quicker.
Right.
So I mean, it's something that's very evident that actually exists, and yet we're talking about how God created the eye and whatever.
Right.
Fuck that bullshit. That's such a bunch of load of shit.
It is a load of shit. Have you heard about those? There's a whole island of people that because their gene pool is kind of cut off from the rest of the world, they all have an extra digit on each of their hands and feet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, one of the other things they were talking about too was that there's people in the Himalayas that live at high altitudes that they actually are able to process oxygen much better than normal humans. And
you mean adaptation?
Yeah.
You mean that there was a mutation, and a few of them with that mutation bred, and so those people survived better, and then over time that they evolved differently, and so they have a better skill? Yes. Is that what you mean?
That's what I mean.
So almost like survival of the fittest, but slow.
Right.
Which is how evolution works.
Yes. And just for the record, the guy that I was talking about that I heard him talking, his name is John Peters. And you should really check out his website. He's a really smart dude, and it's truthfulorigins.info. And it has some really, really great information about evolution and things there. I wasn't planning on pitching his website today, but it was a really great speech that he gave on evolution and how these things happen. And his site really portrays a lot of that stuff really well. So it's worth checking out. So, sorry, I didn't mean to get off on a tangent there, but
I took a class on evolution way back when I was in college. So, that was in 2005.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting, and we had to read this book called The Scars of Evolution, and it was kind of like an alternate evolution theory that had to do with us either remaining near the water or having come out of the water and then going back into the... Anyway, it described how we are so closely related to dolphins. Apparently we're more closely related to dolphins than monkeys or some shit. And the fact that their spines are like ours and, bend up and down instead of back and forth.
Yeah.
I didn't get all of it. Obviously, I didn't retain a lot of it, but it was very interesting, and I can't remember how all of it works, but it was... Anyway, I don't know why I said all that.
No, it's all right.
one of the reasons I am an atheist is because of all the evidence of evolution and the claim that God created us, and it's just such a bullshit claim.
Yeah,
it really is.
He did a really slipshod job.
Right,
you know?
right. And there's so much evidence to the contrary.
We're not his best work.
It's not like it's. I one of the things I hate the most is when a theist on Twitter or something is like, evolution is just a theory. I'm like, yeah,
I don't think you understand.
But you don't
how
understand what
works.
that fucking means. So shut up.
So is gravity, and yet you're stuck to the planet with your feet.
Right, right, yeah. Anyway.
Proverbs.
Back to Proverbs again.
Do not love sleep, or you will grow poor. Stay awake, and you will have food to spare.
Well,
but if you're awake, you're eating the food. So maybe you should go to sleep if you're hungry.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, I see what they're getting at there. You definitely, if you get up and do the things, then you're going to have, more riches and whatnot.
They're saying, get to work. Don't be lazy.
Yeah. That's the whole, they don't like sluggers. They don't like people that sleep a lot. Whatever.
Yeah. It's no good. It's no good, says the buyer, then goes off and boasts about the purchase. I read a little bit about this one.
Okay.
This one is basically the person who is trying to get the best deal, so they're like,
this is a piece of crap.
This is a piece of shit.
I'll buy it for this much, but it's not worth anything. So
yeah, but then they go away and they talk about like, oh my god, I got the best deal on this. I only paid $5.
But we love capitalism in this country, right? So I mean, like that's the whole thing. Like you buy it low, you sell it high. So like the way to do that in the past was to say, this is shit. I'll buy it from you, but not for like what you're asking for. And then you buy it from them and you resell it for more by pitching it harder than they would have.
Yeah.
Or
you go home and use it.
Yeah, either way.
But you're trying to get a good deal.
But you're trying to get a good deal.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. I don't particularly like capitalism, but I don't have a problem with someone trying to get a good deal.
No.
Like that's whatever.
Capitalism in and of itself is not necessarily an evil until it's like applied across the board and like you build entire economies off of it and then we become slaves to it. And it's like, well hold on, everything in moderation.
Right,
right. Just stop.
Yeah.
Gold there is and rubies in abundance, but lips that speak knowledge are a rare jewel. I like that one.
But there's rubies and gold in abundance?
Sure.
I need to know where some of that shit is.
Not here.
If anybody knows where that stuff is,
it's in the Garden
let
of
me
Eden.
Know. Right. If we could just find that fucking place.
It's over there.
We'd be rich.
It's over there where
the
gold? Blazing swords are.
Yeah.
It's over there.
Yeah.
Take the garment of one who puts up security for a stranger. Hold it in pledge if it is done for an outsider.
Wait, what? Are they talking about holding collateral if it's done? They've said over and over and over and over again so far in Proverbs that's not what you're supposed to do.
Don't take collateral. Yeah.
That's like completely against what they've been saying.
But this is for a stranger.
Oh, so as long as it's a stranger, it's okay.
They're talking about foreigners. They're talking about migrants, and they're talking about refugees.
Those damn foreigners, you got to take collateral against them.
Yeah, you don't know them. They're an outsider.
As long as it's a foreigner, it's okay.
Yeah. It's not.
It's not.
FYI.
I mean, just make the rules apply universally. That's all. Like, they're still fucking
what?
people,
I'm just going to say this across the board. If you need to hold something in collateral. Know.
Right.
If your neighbor comes to you and says, "Can I borrow your lawnmower?"
You're going to let them borrow it.
No, if the answer is yes or no.
Right.
Or yes, but I need to hold your TV in collateral.
Right.
And I'm thinking if you need to hold the TV in collateral, probably don't loan your lawnmower to your neighbor.
Right. You already know there's not, you're already asking for trouble.
Yeah.
So.
Just don't.
Right.
Or loan it. Like, I also like the thing, loan nothing that you can't afford to lose.
Right.
And I live by that. If I have it and, I can give it to you, I will loan it and I never ask for it back.
Well, and there's certain people I would loan anything to and trust them, without question. So.
Sure. That's just, I would rather just whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the asshole. Let them be the asshole that kept it or lost it or broke it or whatever.
Sure.
Food gained by fraud tastes sweet, but one ends up with a mouthful of gravel. False.
Which is it? Does it taste sweet or does it taste like gravel?
you stole it, so it might taste sweet while you're eating it, but it's going to sit like a lump in your stomach.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I got it.
But that's false. Once you stole it, it's already done.
Yeah.
It's already...
It tastes the fucking same.
I know this as a 4-year-old that stole a peppermint patty from the commissary.
Yeah.
And that shit did not taste like gravel.
No.
It tasted like a goddamn York's, and it was so good.
Did you lose sleep over it?
I mean, I still remember it all these years later. So, not at the time.
Right.
But over the years, as I remembered it, I'm like, oh, that was not... My dad could have gotten in so much trouble.
Right,
like,
right.
Wow. That I could have caused my dad, like, severe problems in his military career.
Right.
Had I got caught.
Yeah.
Eugh, that's scary.
Yep.
Plans are established by seeking advice. So if you wage war, obtain guidance.
I mean, I would say that's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Ask around first.
You don't want to just jump into that without knowing what you're doing.
Don't do things willy-nilly. Make sure you know, anytime you're doing something big, whether it's war or moving to another country or buying a house.
Yeah. I don't often recommend war, though. Like, it's not something I would recommend doing.
Whatever you're doing.
Yeah, big decisions.
Big decisions like that.
Sure.
Going back to school to get your master's degree, make sure you talk to people.
Yeah.
These are big changes.
Yeah.
A gossip betrays a confidence, so avoid anyone who talks too much. That's not true. They make it seem like if you gossip, you're only saying things that were told to you as a secret in confidence.
Right.
And that's not necessarily what it means to gossip. Like...
Yeah. I would say oftentimes people utilize, like, I know a lot of people who gossip, and I would say that they oftentimes expect you to keep their gossip in confidence, but at the same time, that same person is telling every fucking person on the planet the same goddamn thing.
Right.
So really, it's kind of a who gives a fuck. I'm
just saying, like, me and my sister, me and my best friend, and me and your mom, we can talk some shit. We trash talk people.
Sure.
We gossip. We do.
Yeah.
And not like all at the same time in the same circle. And like, I don't trash talk any of them with, like I won't be with my sister trash talking your mom. I won't be with my best friend trash talking my sister. Like, I'm just saying, like, each of us has somebody or something that we gossip about.
Sure.
And it's not necessarily something that was told to us in confidence. We're just talking trash about somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a form of gossip as well.
Right.
So it's not just sharing somebody's secrets.
Yeah.
But, two can keep a secret if one of them is dead.
That's right.
That's what I learned from Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah. If
someone curses their father or mother, their lamp will be snuffed out in pitch darkness.
Wow.
That
interesting.
Got dark real fast.
Their lamp? Are they talking about life?
Their lives.
Their life. Okay.
Yeah. That's not true.
That's not true.
It might happen, but it's slow if it's happening in my life. Because I have cursed my father and mother.
Right.
I love them dearly, and I have a good relationship with them.
I think even our listeners have heard it.
Yeah.
Just do that. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure my kids have cursed me.
Sure. Yeah.
I know one particular. Anyway, moving on. An inheritance claimed too soon will not be blessed at the end.
What? Why would you?
You're trying to get your inheritance from your parent before they're dead. That's not a good move. Don't do it.
Okay.
Wait till they're dead, then get the shit that they were going to give you.
Sure. Okay.
That's all. And don't kill your parent for your inheritance. That's shitty.
Right. Yeah, that is shitty.
Murder's not good.
That's not good. Don't do that.
Do not say, I'll pay you back for this wrong. Wait for the Lord and he will avenge you.
I don't believe that is how that works.
That is not how that works.
Yeah, I mean, not that I believe in reaping vengeance against someone.
Right.
But if the case is, it depends on what happened, and sometimes, and I'm not saying that I advocate violence, but there are some things that if they happened, I would definitely not wait for God.
Right.
I'm just saying.
There are some
I'm not going to spell it out. I'm not going to say. I'm just saying that there are some things.
I wouldn't wait for the police.
Right,
some things
right,
if they happened.
Yeah.
Much less God.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No.
Some things.
I don't ever want any of those things to ever happen.
Let them please not happen ever.
But I'm just. God's not going to do shit. So.
No.
Because God doesn't fucking exist.
Right.
So that is. Again, I don't advocate violence.
No.
But there are people that you love, and I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah.
So.
And there are horrible people in this world.
And there are horrible people in this world.
Who do horrible things.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Again.
Grody, let's just move on.
Let's just move on.
The Lord detests differing weights, and dishonest scales do not please him.
We literally just said this.
Cheaters don't cheat. There.
They just go.
I know,
why?
I know,
Why?
I know. A person's steps are directed by the Lord. How then can anyone understand their own way?
I don't know. So we have no control over our lives.
So if I'm a sluggard, it ain't my fault.
So if we have an atheist podcast where we call God a dick, we have no choice in the matter.
We have no choice.
God told us. God directed us to call him a dick.
Everything that we're doing is directed by the Lord.
So this is completely sanctioned by God.
Yeah.
This podcast, guys, it's sanctioned by God.
Sanctioned by God.
Yeah.
I need a t-shirt. Atheists are sanctioned by God. I mean, we really need, according to Proverbs 22, verse 24.
Right, yeah.
Atheists are sanctioned by God.
Yeah, there you go.
It is a trap to dedicate something rashly and only later to consider one's vows. They're saying don't make promises you can't keep.
Yeah, I'm
that's fair.
Good with that, I think, mostly.
Think before you speak kind of thing. Yeah.
Right.
That also has to do with like people that make plans like they're enthusiastic in the moment and then they think later and they're like, oh, why did I do that?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Like sometimes I would volunteer enthusiastically for like
everything.
Yeah. Like a PTO mom kind of thing.
Yeah.
And mostly I did follow through, but there was one that I pulled up at the school. I had an anxiety attack and I started crying right there in the car and I noped right on out of there. I went back home. Yeah. I was like, why did I do that?
Right. I don't know.
Make your brain do some thinky bits before you do the talky bits.
Yeah.
A wise king winnows out the wicked. He drives the threshing wheel over them.
Damn.
Let's not, guys.
That's pretty rough.
I mean, there are some wicked people, but I'm not here to kill them.
The king's the one that gets to determine if they're wicked, and then he's going to just run them over with a threshing wheel, huh?
Sounds to me like a god is a little bit wicked himself.
Right? Yeah.
Yuck. The human spirit is the lamp of the Lord that sheds light on one's inmost being.
Okay.
That's too pretty in poesy.
Yeah, and I'm not sure it really means anything of substance.
It's like roses, gold, silver, glitter, cloud, rainbow.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Love and faithfulness keep a king safe. Through love, his throne is made secure. That's false.
Is that what Bathsheba did for King David? Was that about love?
They're talking about
lust.
They're talking about some Care Bear stare here. I'm not for it. Yeah. The glory of young men is their strength. Gray hair, the splendor of the old.
Okay.
Would you rather have the strength of a young man or the gray hair of an old man?
Strength of a young man, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like.
But do you want to die in youth because your strength makes you go out and do like young man strong things?
No, but I mean, like, if God is all powerful, we have no real need to die.
Right.
Why would he create a being that dies?
Okay, but I'm asking you, my husband.
Yeah.
Though.
Okay.
Like gray hair means that you have lived this long and avoided death.
Sure.
So that is the splendor.
No, I think I've enjoyed my life. So like I would definitely not want to not have enjoyed a long life and the things in it. So yeah.
So strength of a young man or gray hair?
Fine, I'll take the goddamn gray hair.
Why can't I be old and still be strong?
Right.
Is what you're asking.
Yeah, because it sucks getting old somewhat.
Oh, it does.
You know?
I mean, you can't even get off the couch sometimes.
Well, to be fair, there's a whole story behind that.
Yeah,
but
yeah. The couch has a deep seat, and we didn't put the legs back on it when we moved.
It's like down. It's
low.
It's really fucking low.
It's real low.
Yeah.
Yeah, the love seat.
Yeah.
I keep telling you should put the legs on it.
I keep thinking I'm going to.
And then you don't.
And then I don't.
We moved in March.
We did.
And it's almost September. So that's on you, friend.
Yes, it is.
All right, last one. Ready,
I'm
old
ready.
man?
I'm ready.
Blows and wounds scrub away evil, and beatings purge the inmost being. I'm going to say false on that one. I don't want blows, I don't want wounds, and I don't want beatings. I can be a good person without any of those.
Yeah, but what about the beating? What was the last one?
Blows and wounds scrub away evil, and beatings purge the inmost being.
Purge the inmost being. So, like, I don't really understand what that's getting at, I guess. Is it saying that you, if you get beat enough, they can beat out of you yourself?
Maybe we're looking at this wrong. Maybe it's what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. La 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 la. Just because I'm being... I don't know, Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah,
I don't know that
sure.
song.
Okay.
But it's good.
Anyway, it's something to do with beating and blows and shit like that, and I don't know how I feel about it. So that's all.
I mean, I prefer not to have hardship, but I do know that hardship does build character, ?
Well, and they like punishment in the Bible too.
They
so
sure
it
do.
sounds something like they're getting at there, maybe a little bit, sort of.
I'm just trying to think,
So-
how can I apply this to my life today?
Yeah, I don't know.
I got enough character. I don't need any more hardship.
I think we can apply. Was that the last?
That's the last one.
I think we can apply this to our lives by ending this chapter.
All right.
So how's that sound?
That sounds perfect, husband.
All right. Well, so we'll be back tomorrow with This was Proverbs chapter 20.
It sure as fuck was.
Tomorrow we'll be back with
Proverbs chapter 21.
We'll see you guys then.
Yep, bye. Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember where the hell we're at?
We are getting near to the end of the Solomonic Proverbs.
False.
No.
We are at the end of the Solomonic Proverbs.
Oh, I thought you said that they went some into another part something.
This episode will contain the finale
Oh.
of the first Solomonic Proverb.
I see.
Yes.
See. I'm kind of excited now. I mean, in a not so excited way.
Hold your horses. I'll make sure to shut that shit down real fast.
All right. So yesterday, I think we did Proverbs chapter 20.
That is correct. Good on you.
So that would mean that today we're getting into
Proverbs 21, but and also
okay,
half of Proverbs 22.
Fucking hell.
Nah, it'll be aight.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. Okay, so we are starting off with Proverbs chapter 21.
Okay.
Which we are still in the bit titled Concerning Life and Conduct.
Got it.
And we keep saying that these are the Solomonic collection.
Right.
But it's not that. It's the first Solomonic collection. Because there is
I apologize.
the other one, Solomonic.
The other one.
Yeah.
Got it.
And it comes like right after this next one that will start tomorrow. That is not going to be hardly anything at all before we get back to Solomon.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, just to reiterate, the book of Proverbs is a collection of collections, and we are in the second of the collections, which is the first Solomonic Proverbs.
Got it.
Okay?
Yep.
So, okay. Let us begin chapter 21 of Proverbs.
Okay.
In the Lord's hand, the king's heart is a stream of water that he channels toward all who please him.
Okay.
That's poesy.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I think it's bullshit, but I like it.
It's not that it's bullshit. It's just that it's like, it's so...
I wish I could just read it as literature.
Right. And the phrasing, like, I guess I wouldn't care so much if the Bible wasn't like a list of things to live your life by.
That's
right?
what I mean. If I could just read it as just a book of poetry from straight out of history.
That would be different.
Then I could just be like, oh my God, that's kind of pretty. I like that.
Right. But the fact that people take this at its word, and I'm not saying everybody does. Some people don't read this literally. But what we rail against the most is the people that read this book literally.
Yeah.
Right? And these phrases, these concepts are so simplistic and so not pertaining to shit.
Right.
That it irks me.
I know.
In thinking of it that way, you know?
Well, it irks me too because I want to be able to be free to say, oh, that was pretty. But then I have to like stop myself and back up and say, but I mean, within the context of this horrible book that is still influencing our politics today.
Right.
Like,
right.
I can't just compliment it because it doesn't exist within a vacuum. There's so much, not just
baggage.
History, but baggage that is still being unpacked today.
Right.
So I kind of resent it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, stop being pretty.
No, I definitely resent the Bible. It's not,
Well, I don't just resent the Bible. I resent it when it's pretty. I resent it when it's ugly. You know, because when it's pretty, I'm not free to compliment it, and when it's ugly, then it proves my fucking point.
Yeah. I think saying I resent the Bible is a little too simplistic in and of itself, but I resent what it has come to represent in our country as it stands today, and then again, it's not across the board, but it is very influential in that view of simplistic. This is God's word.
Well, considering the fact that we just last week watched the Republican debate and like the majority of the people up on that stage spent half the fucking time saying, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
It's
and
a fucking show.
My Father God. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Just please. Anyways.
Yeah.
A person may think their own ways are right, but the Lord weighs the heart. Well, good. He can weigh my heart and know that I'm a decent gal.
I definitely think my own ways are right.
I do too, but, you know.
More so than some entity I've never met anyway.
Sure. I like your heart.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You like my heart?
It's great, yeah.
When somebody says they like your heart, you should compliment their heart back.
Your heart is awesome.
I mean, you don't have to go overboard. You can just be like,
Your heart is awesome, but also sometimes skips a beat.
It does. It does, actually. And fuck you for that. To do what is right and just is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice.
Okay. I like that concept actually, because it's I think what it's saying is that as long as you live a good life and do what's right and just, right?
So actions,
you don't need to make it's more that weighs heavier in the determination process, I guess, of God or whatever, than the sacrificial bullshit
check
that
the box
he has
ritualism.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually the acts that you do, like actions speak louder than words kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the follow through is the important part.
I mean, the sacrificial crap is all weird.
But what's funny is that I've been told that this is exactly not true. That there are no acts that matter without a belief in God.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, they would read these the same way that we're reading them, in that they are leaving things out, and they are just simple ideas that explain aspects of God, I think, and not the full concept.
Right.
So, I mean, there's ways to explain away what we're reading as still meaning what they want the Bible to mean.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
So.
Haughty eyes and a proud heart, the unplowed field of the wicked, produce sin.
So the wicked and the sluggards also don't plow fields, apparently.
Right.
Okay.
But they do produce sin.
They Right. Both of them.
Both of them. Yeah. All right. The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to profit. Let me try that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty.
Oh. Well, I mean, sometimes they say the early bird gets the worm, right?
But also look before you leap.
Right.
Which one? Ooh.
I don't know. Which one do you, I guess it's just
right?
going to flip a coin, see which one's going to work for you.
Yeah. It just depends on the day and which self-help guru you're following.
Probably even they had probably something counter in this. Yeah.
Let's just keep that one in the back of our mind.
Sure.
A fortune made by a lying tongue is a fleeting vapor and a deadly snare.
I will take that fortune. Mm-hmm. If they.
But it's made by a lying tongue.
Yeah.
I want my fortune to come from a truthful tongue.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if they're lying, don't give me a fortune unless you're telling the damn truth.
No, and I do agree to that, with that to some extent, but it doesn't mean that that's how it actually works.
Right.
So,
whatever. We're so over this bullshit. The violence of the wicked will drag them away, for they refuse to do what is right.
Okay.
Bad is bad.
Yeah.
And they're going to get punished.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
The way of the guilty is devious, but the conduct of the innocent is upright.
Sure.
Yeah, bad is bad and good acts good.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Better to live on a corner of the roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife.
No. That is such a shitty statement, just in general.
Tell us why.
Because you're okay. This is the every asshole guy complaining about their wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
My fucking wife, god damn it, she blah 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 blah. And
then his buddy saying, you knock her around, make her bring you a beer.
But that's exactly what this is. This statement is saying that that women are not correct, and you can't.
They are the cause of disharmony in the home.
Yeah,
of course they are.
Like, maybe you're the asshole. Maybe you're coming home drunk every day, and she's yelling at you because you're coming home drunk every day. But no, you're a man in the Bible, so therefore you don't have any fucking. She has no fucking rights.
Okay, you know what? This is a perfect place. I gotta just drop my phone here for a second because I'm about to go off.
I figured.
This is a perfect place to talk about an article that I read today in Scientific American, and that's not where it was first reported. I want to say it was Harvard that did the study and released it or whatever. Okay. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I'll find the article and share it.
Sure.
At any rate, it was just revealed that women's hygiene products were never tested with blood.
Yeah.
And what's really funny about me having learned this today, before I even get into the are you fucking kidding me of that, what's really funny about that is that just a couple of days ago, one of them damn pad commercials came on where the ladies are so excitedly talking about leak guards and stuff.
Right.
And the lady with they were pouring the blue liquid into each of them and squeezing it, and the one holds the blue liquid better than the other one. And
apparently all they ever used was the blue liquid.
Yeah, but we were talking about it, and I kept saying, I don't understand because blood doesn't look like that. Like, I'm not talking about the color.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the thickness and viscosity. And, I remember specifically saying, I must not be using pads right because mine never squished out like that. Like, mine never held liquid the way these do.
Right.
I must, the importance here is that I was blaming myself, my body, and the product of my body that cannot be helped, and saying, I'm doing it wrong. I am wrong. My blood must be wrong. My menstrual cycle must be wrong. There must be something wrong with me. Assuming, of course, the product made to absorb menstrual cycle materials were tested to absorb menstrual product materials.
Well, you'd be wrong.
Right. And why is that, husband?
Because men were in charge, probably.
Yeah, of course they were. Of course they were, because scientists and CEOs and company Yahoo blow butt people just, I'm so mad I just spit everywhere. I'm so, like, when I read that article, I literally cried. And I seethed because I am in my mid to late 40s. And for years, I have literally thought there was something wrong with me and my menstrual cycle. And to find out, no, the products were the fucking problem this whole goddamn time.
Right.
Like, can I just tell you?
It was probably a cost thing. It was probably like, it's really expensive to get blood shit. So we're going to just use water.
And water, blood, it's all the same. Liquid is liquid.
Yeah.
But anybody, you don't even have to have fucked with period blood to know that blood is not the same as water.
Right.
They're different. Anybody who's ever cut themselves before knows that blood is not the same as water.
Sure.
Like, and today I hated men. Today I really hated men. And I just feel like that was a perfect time to drop that bombshell.
Yeah.
That, ladies, if you thought that there was a problem with your menstrual products because they were not absorbing materials correctly, the problem was the product, not you. And you are great, and I'm sorry if you felt the way I felt, and if you ever thought that there was something wrong with you. And by ladies, I mean, apologies, to be more inclusive, I mean anybody who has ever had a menstrual cycle.
Sure.
I cannot tell you how much this bothered me. I'm like trying not to cry right now. Okay, sorry, you're great. Everybody's great except for men. Sorry. Okay, carrying on. What?
I am man.
Right. Are you gonna?
I did not test.
Are you gonna hashtag not all men me?
No.
Is this that moment?
No.
Oh my Christ!
No,
do not.
I'm not.
Okay, because the appropriate response in this moment is, "Oh my God, you are so right. Those dicks."
Right. That's what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I made that clear earlier, but
no. When I texted you the information, you texted me back exactly correctly, and you were like, "Those bastards."
Right.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you were on my side in this, and you understood why I was upset, because we were just talking about this.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, fuck the husband that decides that living on the corner of his fucking roof is better than living with his quarrelsome wife who just wants to get a pad that works.
Tell us how you really feel.
I did.
I know you did.
And I'm not sorry for it. How about that? All right. The wicked crave evil. Their neighbors get no mercy from them. You know why? Because the husband's up on the roof
oh my God,
throwing a goddamn fit that his wife threw him out because he's like, why don't you build a bridge and get over it? Can't you just make your period stop for a minute? Because some men really think that. All right. Sorry. Okay. Neighbors get no mercy from the wicked. Okay?
Yeah.
Got it. I don't understand that, but okay.
Got it. I think we need one just freebie here to just calm down.
Yeah.
And maybe like think of rainbows and butterflies for a second.
Are you Care Bear staring me?
I am a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Because you're really heated at the moment.
I am so angry all over again. No, before I was just distraught. Now I'm angry.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. When a mocker is punished, the simple gain wisdom. By paying attention to the wise, they get knowledge.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you go to a seminar where somebody's speaking that's a wise, a knowledgeable person.
When a mocker is punished, they gain. Hold on. When a mocker is punished, the simple gain wisdom.
Yeah, I don't understand how that works exactly.
When somebody's a bully or a heckler, you should throw a brick of information at their head. Right?
I guess.
Because that's how they learn.
Sure.
And then they pay attention to the wise, and then they get knowledge.
But that one kind of makes sense, I guess.
If you learn something from a wise person, then you learn.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. The righteous one, capital righteous, capital one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The righteous one takes note of the house of the wicked and brings the wicked to ruin.
Oh.
So
I thought that was God's job.
Oh, no. You need to be walking down the street and you see two women coming at you, one on either path. One got the honey lips, and the other one is that bitch Wisdom who knows a thing.
You need to make sure you bring honey lips to justice.
You turn to Wisdom and you say, get her.
Got it.
And then you guys go and you burn her house down, but not before stealing all her tampons. Okay. Whoever shuts their ears to the cry of the poor will also cry out and not be answered.
So we like the poor again.
We do.
This time.
I started to say today, but it could change in the next
it could change.
Verse.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yep.
A gift given in secret soothes anger, and a bribe concealed in the cloak pacifies great wrath. Concealed in the... I don't need a bribe. I need a gift.
Right. No, I think it was saying the bribe was bad and the gift was good, wasn't it?
No. A gift given in secret soothes anger. So yeah.
Right, yeah.
Give me a secret gift and then I'll be happy.
Soothes anger, right.
Right? Here's the next part. A bribe concealed in the cloak pacifies great wrath.
Oh.
So yeah, if you see that wrathful person over there, you can pacify him by hiding a bribe in your cloak.
I see. I don't think that's great advice.
I think that's shitty advice.
I'm not saying that it's never worked, but I mean...
Let's not encourage each other to bribe.
Yeah.
Pissy people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bad habit to get in. Like, that's we don't negotiate with terrorists, right?
Right.
That's kind of the same concept. Not the opposite concept. Like, we aren't going to bribe them.
Yeah.
We're going to not deal with them, basically.
Yeah.
And not encourage them.
Right.
Bribes encourage people.
They do. So let's just all be nice.
Yeah.
And let's try to just be the best.
And call out shitty people.
And demand better testing for menstrual products.
Jesus Christ.
But am I right though? Better testing, please.
I'm denying that here.
Okay.
I just was trying to.
I know. I'm going to keep bringing it up. That's what this episode is about. Okay. When justice is done, it brings joy to the righteous, but terror to the evildoers.
Okay.
When good is good, then bad gets scared.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
I just simpled it for you.
I guess that's how it doesn't go.
Right.
But whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Whoever strays from the path of prudence, straying from the path of prudence and wisdom and all them.
Yeah. Right.
Whoever goes on the path of them honey lips.
Yep.
Comes to rest in the company of the dead.
Oh,
holy
damn.
Shit, that turned dark.
Honey lips equals death.
Wow. I did not know that. Okay. Whoever loves pleasure will become poor. I mean, I like stickers and Sharpies and Dr. Pepper, but I'm not going to buy myself those things right into the poorhouse.
Right.
Whoever loves wine and olive oil will never be rich. That's not true. That is not true.
That's crazy.
I know plenty of people who love wine and olive oil.
Who are rich.
And they are rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can fuck right off with that.
Yeah.
I'm still going to buy
incorrect
wine now and again. The wicked become a ransom for the righteous, and the unfaithful for the upright. The wicked become a ransom for the righteous. I mean...
I don't know how that works out exactly.
The wicked hold us back.
Right.
We are only as good as the least of us. We are only as strong as the weakest link kind of thing. Is that...
Maybe.
They're holding us back.
It's a little too vague, I think, to really comment on, in my opinion.
I was just trying to put some meaning to it.
I'm going to go with
wrap it up.
Next.
Okay. Got it. Better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, stop. Really, you told me no more, and then they give me this shit. You literally told me not.
I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with, menstrual cycles.
A quarrelsome and nagging wife has nothing to do with how well her menstrual cycle products work. Are you kidding me? Why the fuck do you think she's quarrelsome and nagging?
I'm going to go with her husband's a dickhead.
That too. But
that's what I'm going to go with.
That too. On top of the fact that she has a period in the first fucking place and her hormones are going north and south. Okay. The wise store up choice food and olive oil.
Wait, they got olive oil. What? Why do they have they're going to be in the poorhouse.
They're not supposed to love olive oil.
And
maybe they don't love it. Maybe they only like it.
Maybe that must be the distinguishing factor. You can like olive oil, but not love it.
Just don't love it.
Yeah, that's where you go wrong.
Fools gulp theirs down.
Right.
The wise store it up, the food and the olive oil that they only like, not love.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say anything about wine, so I guess wine's
wine, yeah.
Except Jesus liked wine, although we're not there yet. Spoilers.
He turned water into wine.
Spoilers, though. We're not there
According
yet.
to, people.
Well, that's what I've heard. But we're not in the New Testament yet.
We're not.
So maybe that could be wrong.
It could be.
I
guess. We haven't read it ourselves yet, so.
I don't know. Whoever pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity, and honor. So
okay.
Good is good and finds love and good stuff.
I think that, there is something to be said for creating actions by your own actions, right? Like you create a space for yourself by acting the way you want to be treated and things like that. Like I think there is some merit into that type of thinking, but it's also not like it's the same thing as when we kind of rail against people who say save money by, selling your yacht.
Right.
Like if you had bad luck, you're going to be like, fuck you. That's not how it works at all.
Right.
I tried to be good and people shat on me.
Right.
So like you can't say that that's how it works across the board because there's millions, billions of people in the world and somebody's going to have a different experience. So,
okay, generally speaking, if you're like a nice person, you're going to attract nice people around you and that's going to help you network better and that's going to help you get further ahead in life.
Sure.
Yes, generally speaking.
Right.
And also likewise, if you're a shitty human being and you shit on people and you're just always mean and rude and horrible, then hypothetically, you're not probably going to make it far. Karma's going to get you.
But the reason I hate the general...
Let me finish, though. Okay? So, hypothetically speaking, good is good, bad is bad, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
But that leaves out but both of them are equally liable or equally possibility-wise of getting cancer.
Right. Right.
So, luck or, bad... fault in my stars kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, like shit happens, life.
Right.
So yes, good is good, bad is bad. Karma gonna get you, but also cancer.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, that also goes along with man makes plans, but God laughs. Sure. One who is wise can go up against the city of the mighty and pull down the stronghold in which they trust.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
One who is wise can go up against the city of the mighty and pull down the stronghold in which they trust.
Ah.
So that's... You can fight City Hall. Right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, saying...
Right, if you just gotta be wise enough.
Sure. You just gotta go visit your local library.
Oh, shit, it's the wise guy.
Oh, God.
God damn it.
Cheese it, it's the wise guy. Huh. Those who guard their mouths and tongues keep themselves from calamity. All right, I'm going to give that one a little bit of credence because I am a bit of a hothead and I do go off at the mouth. I don't always think before I speak. I wear my heart on my sleeve and I pour my emotions out and then have to pick up the pieces. Okay? So, if I were to guard my mouth and tongue a little bit better, I would avoid some calamity.
Yes.
I will give you that. But that doesn't mean shut the fuck up all the time.
Right. No, I agree.
So, time and place. Blah, blah, blah. The proud and arrogant person, mocker is his name, behaves with insolent fury.
Okay. So he's mocking and he's furious and...
He's proud and arrogant. Sure.
Sounds like a real shit.
His name is Mocker.
His name is Mocker. Mocker.
Hey, Mocker, what's up?
Not much, man.
Yeah.
I'm proud, furious, and arrogant and
insolent and furious.
Insolent. So yeah, leave me the fuck alone.
Okay.
I guess.
Done.
I don't. Yeah. Whatever.
Done. Moving on. The craving of a sluggard will be the death of him because his hands refuse to work.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, okay. So I'm a sluggard and I crave chocolate and Dr. Pepper like all the fucking time. And I'm like, oh God, we're out of Dr. Pepper. But
that could be the death of you.
Oh, shit. That was a bad example, huh?
Yeah, that was a really bad example.
Okay. I'm a sluggard, but I also crave Sharpies and stickers. Not the death of me. And there it is.
Okay.
Okay?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I'm imagining in my head, though, different Sharpie and sticker deaths, though, now.
Are you serious? Like, oh,
Dumb
she colored
ways to die.
Oh my god, we'll post that one in the show notes. Like if I colored all over myself accidentally with Sharpie, then I could die of ink poison.
Right.
Like
yeah.
like that episode of Seinfeld where George licked the envelope or something. He was gonna get married, and George Costanza was gonna get married, and the lady that he was gonna marry was mailing out the invitations, and she was licking all the envelopes, but there was like some infection on the envelopes that got into her tongue, and so she died or some shit like that. So that's how she died. And so he was saved from getting married because he didn't really want to get married.
Got it. Yeah, that's horrible.
That's Seinfeldian.
It's fucking horrible.
Yeah. All day long he craves for more, but the righteous give without sparing. Okay.
Okay. I don't know what to say there.
Be generous.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
The sacrifice of the wicked is detestable. How much more so when brought with evil intent?
So yeah, don't.
When you are checking the box and going through the
detestable.
routines for badness sake, or just to, look good, you're an asshole. Fuck you.
Yeah. Sure.
Got it. A false witness will perish.
Jesus.
But a careful listener will testify successfully.
I mean,
I hope that is not over the court where Trump and crew are all testifying, because that could be dangerous for them if that is true.
Yeah, definitely.
A false witness will perish? Jesus Christ.
A lot of dead people at that court.
There would be. A careful listener will testify successfully, though. I hope they take that to heart. The wicked put up a bold front, but the upright give thought to their ways. Think before you speak.
Yep.
Look before you leap.
Yep.
There is no wisdom, no insight, no plan that can succeed against the Lord.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I see. And how can we prove that? Is there a way that we could prove? I would like to be able to prove this.
Sure.
Because let's give it a shot, right?
Like hold my beer?
I mean,
challenge accepted?
How do we know if we've succeeded against the Lord? How do we know that we haven't succeeded against the Lord? How do we know that the Lord exists?
These are all fine questions. I'm moving on.
Well, I'm just saying, it's very dumb. Right. That's a very dumb statement.
Sure.
Because there is no way to gauge that or measure that in any way whatsoever.
It's not quantitative. That's certain.
At all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, the last one for chapter 21. Ready?
I'm ready.
The horse is made ready for the day of battle, but victory rests with the Lord.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Do your best.
Why do we need the fucking horse if God's going to take... I questioned that back when they were fighting all the time.
Yeah.
Why do we need the fucking horse and the soldiers?
Just do your best.
If God's going to just,
Don't worry about it. Just do your best.
Okay.
All right. So that was the end of Proverbs chapter 21. However, we are going to read verses 1 through 16 of Proverbs 22, because this portion of the chapter is still part of that second collection of the book of Proverbs, which is called the First Solomonic Collection.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I will stop at the right place.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, okay. Again, verses 1 through 16, just to remind myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1.
All right.
A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold.
I will take the riches over the good name.
Although
they're speaking of good name as in
your reputation.
Yeah. Right. So
we were talking about riches versus fame with Kid earlier, and Kid was like, I don't want fame, only riches. And I'm with that. Keep the fame.
Just think you can just enjoy your life if you have riches,
Yeah.
Why you don't have to worry about being reputable. You just...
It's not my business what other people think of me.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Right.
I mean, especially, like, okay, let's just take where we live, right?
Yeah.
And generally speaking, it's very Trumpian out here.
Yeah.
And I don't really give a fuck what my reputation is amongst those people.
Right.
You know, like, that's not something that I'm concerned of.
I'm concerned for my safety from them. I'm not worried about, like, oh, they don't like me. That's sad. It makes me cry at night.
Right, right. So, yeah, I'll take the money and not worry about what they think of me.
Sure.
That's all.
Same. Okay, verse 2. Rich and poor have this in common. The Lord is the maker of them all.
Oh.
You know what else they all have in common?
What's that?
They all shart.
They do, probably.
You know what else?
What's that?
They all breathe oxygen. There's a lot.
True.
There's a lot happening
here.
That is
true. Yeah.
There's a lot. They're all mammals.
They are. Yes.
If they have hearts, they only have one, unlike Time Lords who have two. I mean, I could do this all day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to because
that would get really long.
Yeah. Okay, verse 3. I'm saying the verses as we go just to make sure I remember to stop.
Yeah.
Okay? Stop. Okay. The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty.
Those damn simple people.
It's all about overindulgence again, like moderation.
Yeah.
But moderation includes moderation. Like, that's one of my personal commandments is everything in moderation, including moderation.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, verse 4. Humility is the fear of the Lord. Its wages are riches and honor in life. Damn.
Okay. I wish that's all it really took.
Right?
But, you know.
That sounded like Ayn Rand. Quite honestly, you'll be paid for the hard work that you put it. Your good work will be rewarded, will be noticed and rewarded by your betters.
Yeah, which was bullshit.
Yeah. All you have to do is just always be good and always work your best and hardest, and you'll always be rewarded accordingly.
Right.
Because
even in her own books that she wrote, she didn't hold true to that.
Right, exactly.
Like, there was definitely, like, we talked about it, and there's definite examples of people who worked their asses off and didn't make shit, didn't do anything.
Yeah. It's true.
So, it's bullshit.
It is total bullshit. Okay, verse 5. In the paths of the wicked are snares and pitfalls, but those who would preserve their life stay far from them. Avoid bad.
Yeah.
Bad is bad.
You know who else avoids pitfalls and snares?
Indiana
Sluggards.
Jones?
No, sluggards.
Sluggards
they
and Indiana Jones.
Right. No, he finds pretty much all of the fucking
you're right.
pitfalls and snares.
But he finds them, but he avoids them.
Barely.
Yes. But I mean, he gets out of every one of them.
He does. He's good at that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have a whole series of it.
He should have just been a sluggard, as you pointed out. Yeah, you're right. You are right. Verse 6. Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it. That is not true.
That sounds like indoctrination to me.
It's also not true because it erases the child who becomes the adult having any kind of I forget what the word is, but they have choice? Don't they have their own, like, at what age do you become in charge of, like, your own choices and you can't blame your parents anymore?
Got it.
Know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's bullshit.
Right.
You can't blame your mom and dad for everything. You know, once you hit your 30s, you got to start being your own person.
Right.
Number 7, the rich rule over the poor and the borrower is slave to the lender. I mean, the rich do rule over the poor.
That is absolutely true.
And the borrower is
but I'm not sure which side.
Lender.
What is the point of that statement? Are they
Stop
saying
being poor and don't borrow money? Stupid.
Right. So just be rich.
Be rich.
Like, just go be rich.
Just hurry up and get born to the other family that was rich.
Yeah, that's all you got to do to be.
What did you do
well
in the womb prior to being born that caused you to be born to a poor family?
It's obviously your fault.
You fuckface.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, verse 8. Whoever sows injustice reaps calamity, and the rod they wield in fury will be broken.
Okay.
I don't know. That's so violent.
It is.
Like, bad people are going to be super bad.
And apparently their rod will break.
Break that rod.
Well, no, I can't. No, I don't think that's true. No, never mind.
No?
Just forget. My brain was going haywire for a second, and then I lost it, and so
you were like, did it?
Now we're
No.
back
Did
to,
it? No. Did it? No.
No, I was trying to think of something, and then I couldn't. So, and I was trying to think of the rod that they had, like Moses and had.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think if it broke, but I don't think it didn't. I don't believe. And if it did, I don't recall when exactly.
Something about snakes.
Yes, it turned into a snake at one point.
The generous will themselves be blessed, for they share their food with the poor. That's that Magic Penny song again.
Yeah. And apparently this is like the generous, the nice people are sharing their food with the poor, which means that they're worth sharing things with.
Yes.
Which apparently we like the poor here.
We do. We like the poor again.
But maybe not that last sentence, but like a couple sentences before.
Who knows?
I don't really know.
Yeah. You just don't know.
Right.
Verse 10. Drive out the mocker, and out goes strife.
Thought he was dying before.
Well, you need to kick him out, whether he's dying or not.
Maybe he'll die later.
With him goes strife.
Yeah.
Quarrels and insults are fucking ended.
Got
That's
it.
what it says.
Yeah.
Fucking ended.
Those damn mockers.
I hate a mocker.
Yeah.
Nothing I hate more than a goddamn mocker. Number 11. One who loves a pure heart and who speaks with grace will have the king for a friend. That's our fucking problem. If I just stopped cursing, we'd have kings for friends.
That's right. Yeah,
Ugh.
I keep telling you that.
Oh, well.
You just don't listen.
Anyways. Verse 12. The eyes of the Lord keep watch over knowledge, but he frustrates the words of the unfaithful. That's why I'm always having problems thinking of the words that I'm trying to think.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
I can't remember words.
That's probably what it is.
Because he's keeping watch over knowledge and frustrating me.
Yeah. But also, the other day, I remember he endorsed our podcast. So
he did.
I don't really know what to think about this.
The Lord does endorse atheists.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Verse 13. We're coming up.
We're getting near.
There's a nice little warning here for me. So that's nice of it.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Number 13. The sluggard says, "There's a lion outside. I'll be killed in the public square."
Oh, shit.
Why does the sluggard say that?
I don't know. Why does he say that?
There's a lion outside. I'll be killed in the public square.
I don't
literally
get that.
don't
That makes
get
no
it.
sense.
Apparently
lions seek out sluggards. Not really sure. Not following.
Because he's so sluggardly,
I know that
he can't run fast
sometimes
anymore?
the lions represent some sort of god thing. Maybe I don't really know what that. I don't know. I don't fucking know what that means.
I don't care.
Right.
I tried.
Let's just go with they don't like sluggards in the Bible.
Yeah, they really don't like lazy people.
Sluggards are trash according to the Bible.
Yeah. All right, verse 14.
Okay.
The mouth of an adulterous woman, honey lips.
Yeah, honey lips.
Is a deep pit. Her mouth is a deep pit.
Damn.
She deep throat that stuff. A man who is under the Lord's wrath falls into it. Yeah, he does.
Oh man, that deep pit honey lips.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a stripper
he fell
name.
Right into that deep lip honey. That is a good porn name.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So when people ask, like, when you fell down, your penis fell right into her? Yes, that is exactly what happened in the Bible. It says so right here.
Right.
Verse 15. Folly is bound up in the heart of a child, but the rod of discipline will drive it far away.
Oh, yeah, you got to get that folly right out of them. You don't want them to be a kid. Jeez, you got to make sure they grow up quick and beat the shit out of them.
Beat them.
Don't do that.
Here's how I know.
Don't fucking do that.
Here's how I know that you don't have to beat a kid.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Here's how I know. Because the kid that I babysit, he's 2.5, and my best friend texted me today and said he cried at night time because he wanted to play with me, and so she consoled him by saying that I'll be back again tomorrow after we have our nappies. And that's how you know. Because he's a good kid. And I'm not exactly, like, soft. I'm not, like, I don't spoil the shit out of him. I don't, like, let him just run all over and get into everything. I wouldn't call myself mean or disciplinarian, but I'm just, like, I am who I am, and I use, like, a harsh voice if I need to, but he loves me.
Yep.
And he listens to me.
Yep.
All right, last one. Ready?
I'm ready.
One who oppresses the poor to increase his wealth and one who gives gifts to the rich, both come to poverty. Boom.
Wait, what?
If you oppress the poor for your own gain,
then you come to poverty.
Fuck you.
But if you also give gifts to the
wealthy,
rich, then you also come to poverty.
Yeah.
So either of those ways you come to poverty.
Eat the rich.
Which is sometimes good and sometimes bad.
Right.
Whether it probably depends on how you got the poverty in the first place.
Okay.
How did it happen? That probably matters.
Were you
They didn't really cover that bit, but
yeah.
It must, because they're so back and forth about the whole fucking idea.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
So those were the first Solomonic sayings.
All right.
And that concludes the second collection of the book of Proverbs.
Right.
Okay.
And so that was today. We did 21 and part of 22.
So tomorrow we will be back with the rest of chapter 22, and then we will also read chapter 23.
Okay.
So that's Wednesday. Then on Thursday we will read Proverbs 24, which will finish up the third collection.
Oh wow, that's quick.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're right back into the
Solomonic shit. Yeah, on Friday.
Great.
On Friday, we're coming right back to Solomon.
A brief break, and then right back to it.
I'm eager to see what this next little... It's precepts and warnings and wise sayings and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm eager to see what kind of shit that is like, hold on, these didn't come from Solomon. Hold on. Hold on. I want to know what those are about.
Right. All right. Well, that's all we got for today, so we will see you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
So we're late.
We are. I had a long day yesterday.
And you got stuck at work?
I got stuck at work.
3 hours past close?
Yep. And so here we are doing it a day later, and we had a lot to do today too, so we're doing it late in the evening. So there's going to be 2 podcasts kind of back to back.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
2 episodes coming at you.
But now you can listen to us, like if you listen on your drive, you can listen to us like on the way in and on the way home. Mm-hmm, see how that works? It's like a bonus Sacrilegious Discourse day.
The things we do for you.
So I think last time we finished up the Solomonic Proverbs. Is that correct?
The first Solomonic Proverbs.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes.
I keep mentally hoping that there's no more.
Oh, there will be.
But
there's more.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that today we'll be getting into what?
We are starting the third collection within the collection of collections that is Proverbs.
Got it.
So we're in the third one.
It's a collection of collections in a collections of collections?
No, too many.
Oh, that was too many.
You went turtles all the way down on me. No. Proverbs is a collection of collections.
Right.
And we've completed the first 2.
Got it.
Do you remember what the first collection was called?
Fuck no.
I want to say it was like the Didactic.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that.
That's right.
Does that sound right?
Something like, sounds about right.
Sure.
Sounds close anyway.
Yeah. So now we're in the third one, and this group is exactly 2.5 chapters in length.
Yeah.
And they are the words of the wise.
Got the words of the wise.
Yes.
Speaking of words of the wise, just real quick before we jump into this, the wise followers among us would help us out by going over and liking our YouTube page if you haven't already.
Okay.
That's all.
Oh.
I just want to throw that out there.
Okay.
I haven't said it in a while. I figured, hey, YouTube, go to YouTube.
We're talking about wisdom. That's a good segue into
a wise thing to
YouTube.
do. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Any reason's a good wise reason to do it. You know?
Oh my God. Anyway, so we did halfway through Proverbs 22.
Okay.
At last meeting.
Yep.
So we're finishing up chapter 22 and reading chapter 23.
We're doing 1.5 again today.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, let's go do this.
Okie dokie. All right. So as I said, we are getting into the second half of Proverbs chapter 22, which are the precepts and warnings.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Pay attention and turn your ear to the sayings of the wise.
Okay, I got my ear turned. You're wise, right? I can turn my ear to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the one that's holding them and reading them. So yeah.
Got it. I'm turning my ear
to me.
Yeah, but I got to turn my mouth to the mic, so I'm gonna occasionally turn back to the mic.
You look like a big dumb goofball. Apply your
That's
heart.
probably because I got a haircut today from somebody who's only been cutting hair for 2 days.
Oh my God.
That was scary.
You came home and were like, "Do I look stupid?" And I was like, "How do I answer this question?"
I want to be really nice to them, because I don't really give a fuck about my hair,
Right.
It's just, it is what it is. But if it's really dumb, then I might go to like another Great Clips and be like, "Hey guys,
can you fix me right quick?"
Yeah, I mean, I go to Great Clips because I don't care.
Right.
It's I don't go get my hair styled. I'm balding in the back. I don't give a shit. Just cut my fucking hair.
Right.
But she had only been cutting hair for 2 days,
mm-hmm.
and it took like an hour to get a basic fucking haircut.
Yeah.
And I was a little scared throughout the whole thing. Sorry.
You look all right. You look fine. She did a fine job.
Yeah. I told her as much. I was like, "Thank you, and good luck to you," and tipped her decently, and so.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Good for you.
yeah. It just was a scary experience, That's all.
All right, so you're paying attention. You turned your ear. Now you need to apply your heart to what I teach. Okay?
I'd rather leave it in my body.
Oh my God.
Not. Am I being too literal here?
You're being too silly.
I apologize.
For it is pleasing when you keep them in your heart and have all of them ready on your lips.
On your heart and on your lips. Got it.
So put them in your heart so that you have them ready to grab on your lip.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Got it, yeah.
They're saying memorize this shit so that you always have a good response.
I got it.
Well, you were being so literal and silly. I thought I would
just
put it out there that we do
know a
little bit.
We are reading Proverbs. I am going to be silly because there is nothing else to fucking do.
True.
And it is what it is, so.
So that your trust may be in the Lord, I teach you today, even you. Have I not written 30 sayings for you, sayings of counsel and knowledge, teaching you to be honest and to speak the truth, so that you bring back truthful reports to those you serve?
Have they not? I don't know. I'm not aware. What is this referring to?
I don't know.
It's like they're referring to something that I'm not aware of what they're referring to.
Well, aren't they? Haven't they? Did they?
I don't know.
Let's assume they did. They're saying they did. I'm going to trust them at their word. They did a thing.
Sure, I guess so.
Sure. Do not exploit the poor. We love the poor again.
Yeah.
Because they are poor. And do not crush the needy in court, for the Lord will take up their case and will exact life for life.
Damn. I don't see that that's the way things go.
No.
It seems like the poor get shit on in court pretty much most of the time.
Yeah, that is true. Do not make friends with a hot-tempered person. Do not associate with anyone easily angered, or you may learn their ways and get yourself ensnared.
These must be the 30 things.
I guess.
I'm guessing.
Sure.
I wonder if this is them.
This is them. Well, you're friends with a hot-tempered person.
Yeah.
Her name is Wife.
Yeah. I wouldn't say you're hot-tempered. You're quick to defend. You're righteous. You are very
I'm righteous.
Yes.
And I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Yes, but I wouldn't say you're quick-tempered. You're quick to defend shitty. You're quick to contradict shittiness.
Okay.
And I don't think like hot-headed to me, hot-tempered, whatever, bad-tempered is more just you have a shitty demeanor to you to begin with. Okay. And that's not how I see you.
Aww.
I don't see you that way. I think that you are very wonderful and that you just stick up for things that other people wouldn't. And that's why you have this thing that people see you as this way because you do things that other people wouldn't. And I don't see that as a bad thing. It's
not necessarily
productive. Awkward sometimes.
Right. Not always productive.
Not always productive, but it's not a bad thing.
Got it.
So,
well, thank you.
Yeah.
That was very sweet. I see you as silent, strong type, except that you speak up when necessary, and therefore your words carry much more weight and meaning.
Right.
So, I married well. I married up. Do not be one who shakes hands in pledge or puts up security for debts.
Oh, not that.
Not again.
Yeah.
If you lack the means to pay, your very bed will be snatched from under you.
Well, I mean,
that's true.
That's how collateral works, I guess.
We all love the repo, man.
Yeah.
Right? Do not move an ancient boundary stone set up by your ancestors.
Okay. I mean, that's like don't move your property line thing.
Yeah. Don't be a cheater kind of
right.
person.
Sure.
Do you see someone skilled in their work? They will serve before kings. They will not serve before officials of low rank. That's more that Ayn Rand bullshit.
Right. Your hard work will pay off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That was the end of chapter 22. Now
Okay.
we're getting into Proverbs chapter 23.
Got it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When you sit to dine with a ruler, as you do,
Yeah, all the time.
Sure. Note well what is before you and put a knife to your throat if you are given to gluttony.
That escalated real quick.
It sure as fuck did.
Damn. I mean,
I don't know what
I
to
would
say
say
about
like
that.
most feasts that I've seen kings have are pretty gluttonous.
Yeah.
Just in the production of it.
I've never sat down with a ruler. I'm going to guess though, based on what I've seen, that I would be the least of your fucking problems.
Right, yeah. Get off me.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever.
It might be my one and only chance to pig out like that.
Right? So
I'm going to dine on their fucking caviar.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I don't really crave caviar.
I don't understand that. Like, it probably is seen as a more proper thing to not pig out on the king's feast or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I guess.
But then why have it all there?
Mm-hmm.
You're obviously showing your money and your status by displaying all this food. But then there's also, etiquette to determine that you're not supposed to just eat it all?
Right, and here's my thing. I'm not worried about what the ruler thinks of me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
They're going to think what they're going to think. They invited me there for a reason, and it's not because I'm classy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they invited me there, it's because they like my podcast or because I wrote a book, and they're like, awesome, you wrote this great book.
Right.
In which case, I'm not worried that they walk away going, Jesus Christ, she's gluttonous.
Let me ask you this though: if you were, would you not hold to the decorum of meeting a dignitary if you were able to meet, say, the president of the United States or whatever? Would you not hold to the normal decorum just because this is what's expected?
What do you mean by normal decorum?
Well, if you went to when the Queen of I don't even want to mention the new King of England, but the Queen of England, if you had got to meet her, she would have expected you to do certain things.
Like you have to take all these classes before you can be in her presence, and you have to hold your fork on a certain hand, or else you're being rude and stuff.
That's what I'm getting at. I feel like I would, just out of respect for the opportunity. I don't know.
Okay, here's the thing. When me and you go out with family to a restaurant, which, we don't do very often, I'm usually the one, pointing to your napkin, saying, put it in your lap.
Yeah.
So, I guess to some small degree, I'm a little bit polite, but I'm still going to put my elbows on the table, queen or otherwise. That's all I'm saying.
I would not put my elbows on the table if I was eating with the queen. Just for the record.
I cannot be bothered with that kind of thing. Because to me, you're not better than me.
No,
I'm not gonna change how I sit for your benefit to make me. Those kind of rules are meant to force me to bend to your little pretty way of being, and I'm not gonna do it. I will put my napkin in my lap. I will try to remember which fork is which. I'll probably fuck it up because I don't have a great memory. And I'm not going to go much further than that. I'm just not.
I think I would.
I'm not going to treat the queen any better than I'm going to treat somebody I actually love and care about in my personal life.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying that certain people, certain things have traditions and roles that you're supposed to play in those instances.
Sure, but do I strike you as somebody who has ever played a role?
Not really, no.
I've always been the sort to say that traditions...
So basically what we're getting at here is that if we ever get to meet the Queen or King of England...
I should wait out in the lobby.
I'm just going to go on by myself.
Yeah, okay. I should wait in the lobby. Because I can't fucking be bothered to put her on a pedestal.
Right.
Now, if we went to meet the President of the United States, I don't think whoever he may be, is going to be fucking worried if I put my goddamn elbows on the table.
Probably not. Although
they're going to give you a little lesson in security. They're not going to give you lessons before you go meet him on which fucking fork to use. They're going to say, don't move beyond this circle. Always refer to him as Mr. President.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get cautioned by security, not by a fucking etiquette cop.
Right.
So, whatever. I'm not worried about that kind of shit.
Got it.
Anyway, do not crave his delicacies, for that food is deceptive. See, you shouldn't even be eating that anyway. Food? It's what I'm saying. It's fucking, it's trappings.
Okay. All right.
It's there to show off.
But I thought kings were like God's, mouthpiece, basically.
That was a different chapter.
Okay.
In this chapter, kings suck and the poor is awesome.
Got it.
Do not wear yourself out to get rich, except for also work hard. So I'm not sure which way to go here. Do not trust your own cleverness.
I beg to differ.
Right? I trust my own cleverness insofar as I know what I don't know, and I know that I need to learn more.
Right.
How about
that?
I mean,
I definitely ask for help all the time, but I also I think I'm pretty clever.
You are pretty fucking clever.
So I trust it often.
Yeah.
So
you might not know the benefit of the Oxford comma, but you know a fuck ton about other stuff.
I do have know the benefit of the Oxford comma.
Okay.
So
it was supposed to be an example.
No, I know. And I'm just saying. Okay. You've taught me some things.
I have taught you some things. Yeah. And you've taught me some things.
Yes.
We teach each other.
Yes.
Cast but a glance at riches, and they are gone, for they will surely sprout wings and fly off to the sky like an eagle.
Well, that's no problem. I can't find any to look at, so
we don't seem to attract much riches, and they do fly away. I will tell you that.
Right? Yeah, I was looking around. I don't see. We got a typewriter. I like our typewriters.
I do like our typewriters.
I like our books.
We have a lot of vinyl records.
We do.
Like a fuck ton.
Yeah, a lot.
And board games. We got a fuck ton of board games.
We got a really cool cat.
Full. Got a great cat.
Yeah.
Got a great kid.
We do.
Yeah. Huge basement. What the fuck?
We have some really good board games.
I said that.
Oh, you did. I'm sorry.
You were busy.
I'm sorry. I was looking for other things. Yeah, I'm looking.
We have an extensive medicine cabinet. But that's because we're old.
I guess.
Do not eat the food of a begrudging host. Do not crave his delicacies. For
okay.
He is the kind of person who is always thinking about the cost.
Then
they're equating rulers to greedy fucks.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. There's no consistency.
Right.
There's no consistency.
I'm just not sure how I don't understand this necessarily.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the little you have eaten and will have wasted your compliments.
Wait, why will you vomit it up?
Because it's so poisonous with his badness.
Oh my God.
This is silly.
This is dumb.
It is dumb. It's not that I disagree that, rich people suck.
Sure, I guess.
For hoarding wealth and for not helping fix the system that lets them hoard wealth.
But not all of them do that either. There are some rich people that do work towards donating their
sure,
extra monies towards
and there
good
are
things.
Rich people who insist on that the rich should be higher taxed.
Right.
So yes, that is awesome. Again, yes, I know the rich are not a monolith. Not all rich people, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, rich people suck.
Sure.
Do not speak to fools, for they will scorn your prudent words.
Okay.
I
guess.
Yeah, whatever. Do not move an ancient boundary stone or encroach on the fields of the fatherless.
We literally just covered that.
Right, but
except for the fatherless bit.
Right, now they're being a little bit more explanatory.
Yeah.
For their defender with a capital D is strong. I think they're talking about God.
Okay.
Because it's capital.
Right.
He will take up their case against you.
Oh.
See, God loves the poor.
Yep.
God loves the poor and the widowed children.
In this section, yeah.
In this section. In this sentence.
Right.
Yeah,
it's bound to change any moment.
Yep. Apply your heart to instruction and your ears to words of knowledge.
Okay. I don't really have a problem with that.
Sure. Do not withhold discipline from a child. If you punish them with a rod, they will not die. So if you beat them,
that's not entirely true.
Live good.
If you are an abusive parent, there have been cases that children have died from being beaten too hard.
Yep. Let's not beat the children.
Just not beat the children.
Yep.
Yeah, there's definitely that does not hold true.
You know, I think it's stupid that we expect children to be better in control of their emotions than we adults are. We expect them to learn the rules and follow them quicker and more accurately than we as adults do.
Right. How would you like it as an adult when you broke a rule? How would you like if some other adult would just walked up to you and beat you with a rod?
Right?
I mean, how would that's exactly what's happening, only with a child that has no fucking recourse or defense.
Right. Exactly.
At least I can beat you back, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, the kid has no viable course of defense to that action.
And moreover, the court condones it.
To an extent.
What is a child supposed to do? If a child hits back, then the child gets put in fucking juvie or whatever. Yeah. The child is in trouble. So the child is not allowed to defend him or herself.
Right. They have to build a case of the parent has beat them
and you have to
excessively
prove
at that.
It. You have to prove it so fucking hard that it's I don't even understand. Like, you have to not only prove it, but then you have to also get over, at least in the state of Ohio, they have like this love affair with the nuclear family.
Right.
And you're not allowed to cut off your family members no matter how toxic they are. And they're like, no. You should always, always, always try for reconciliation, even when it's been proven that the parent in question
is abusive
and has no should not in any way be involved. The involvement is more harmful to the child than the reconciliation.
And I would wager that idea in our courts, at least in Ohio, and I think this pretty much plays out nationwide, if I had to guess, but I think that idea stems from biblical teachings, yes, you know? Yes.
One man, one woman, nuclear family, stay married forever. If you can't stay married, at least always stay beautiful parents to the children and always both be involved and be perfect and beautiful. And it's like, wouldn't that be a nice, pretty world? But we live in the real one. We live in the real one where sometimes people suck.
Yeah.
You know?
They do.
Yeah. So anyway, fuck Ohio. Let's see. Punish them with the rod, blah, blah, blah. Save their life with the rod.
Right.
Okay. My son, not my daughter. I would never speak to my daughter and give her any kind of wisdom.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
My son, if your heart is wise, then my heart will be glad indeed. My inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak what is right.
I mean, I can relate to that. You want your kid to be a good, well-rounded individual who knows shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, a decent citizen.
Yeah, sure. So I can relate to that.
Yeah. Do not let your heart envy Wait, what? Do not let your heart envy sinners, but always be zealous for the fear of the Lord.
Again, it's going to have to depend on what your definition of sin is. Like, if your definition of sin, I'm not going to envy a murderer, right? But like, there's a lot of things that are considered sinful, and if we go back to Leviticus, the amount of things that are not things that God condones are extensive,
right? And
so I don't really approve of that list, and therefore, you have to clarify.
Right.
You have to clarify, and moreover, I don't really like even with what people consider to be sinners today, like people who cheat on their whatever. Like, I don't you have to take each individual as an individual person and treat them as such,
right?
Given their cases and what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot judge someone just because of it. Everything in the world is not black and white.
Right.
We live in a world of gray.
I mean, homosexuality is considered sinful in the Bible, and I got to tell you,
that's debatable,
depending on who you talk to.
Right.
According to many Christians, how about that?
Sure.
It is sinful according to many Christians, and for them, that is according to the Bible.
Right.
So, and I got to tell you, I have met some homosexuals who are very in love, and if you were single, you should be envious of that love. So fuck off.
You didn't, well, I mean, unless you want to be single.
Well, yeah, obviously. I'm just saying.
Right. I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. Each person is an individual.
Right.
Take them as they are.
Yeah, stop. Stupid.
That's all.
This Bible's dumb.
It is.
There is surely, and we just skipped right over the be zealous in your fear for the Lord. We're like, no. There is surely a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off.
Okay.
Unless Unless I
Unless
decide.
it is.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Listen, my son, and be wise, and set your heart on the right path. Do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat. For drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags.
I see. They're focusing pretty heavily on the eating too much and stuff in this one.
Gluttony.
The gluttony aspect in this.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Like, don't be a fatty.
Right.
Like, well, guess I'm going to hell. Listen to your father who gave you life, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Okay?
I would say the mother gave the life.
Right.
I mean, I'm not that the father doesn't contribute, but the mother went through a lot more with regard to giving that life.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Buy the truth and do not sell it.
Buy the truth and do not. Okay.
So I'm gonna buy a newspaper.
Why wouldn't you?
And I'm gonna hold on to it. Nobody else can have it. I'm not gonna sell it.
But I would want everybody to know.
Right.
Like, I think it's better that everybody is informed and knows the truth.
I would give it away knowledge. For free, though.
Right.
Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't sell it. Give it for free.
We love the library. We love, anything.
I love the library.
Like, there are aspects of the internet that are really good because you have access to all kinds of information if you choose to use it correctly.
Yes.
So.
Use your power for good, people.
Right.
The father, do not sell it. Wisdom, instruction, and insight as well. Don't sell any of that stuff.
Got it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The father of a righteous child has great joy. A man who fathers a wise son rejoices in him. Yes, we all
good
like
children are good children.
Yep.
I mean,
we're happy
bad
when our
children,
kids are good.
I'm, unless they're really shitty, they're still your children, and I still love them.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Whatever.
May your father and mother rejoice. May she who gave you birth be joyful. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Are you
Great.
happy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ecstatic.
Okay. My son, give me your heart and let your eyes delight in my ways. For an adulterous woman is a deep pit, and a wayward wife is a narrow well.
Okay. Then she probably had honey on her lips or something too.
Goddamn honey.
Yeah.
Honey-lipped vixens.
Those damn honey-lipped vixens.
They're always waving at you. No, but this is the wayward wife. So in our marriage, it would be me putting honey on my lips and going out.
Right. But it said something about a temptress before that or something too.
An adulterous woman is a deep pit, and a wayward wife is a narrow well.
So they're saying, like, if you go for the adulterous woman or your wife is an adulterous woman, either way, that adulterous woman is a piece of shit, basically.
Yeah. Women suck.
I guess.
The men can come back from it, but the women.
Right. No, the women have always been the most punished in what we've read.
Yeah.
Now, they say that men got punished for adultery, but I didn't see a lot. I mean, like, there was a lot more instances of them calling that out about the women than there was about the man.
Yeah.
So, I don't feel like the men got the same types of punishment for adultery as women did.
That's because women have vaginas, and those are disgusting, and we don't talk about those.
It would be a neat Patreon episode to look into how adultery was treated back in biblical times. I think.
I don't think it would be neat at all.
It would be tragic, but it would be worth knowing, I guess, maybe.
I think that we already know the answer, though.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they would be stoned to death or, at the very best case scenario, shunned from the village or whatever.
I guess mostly what I'm curious about is that if men are men treated similarly to the women, or were women definitely treated shittier? Is what I'm curious about. Because the laws supposedly apply to men and women. Right. So, but they only ever call out the women. So.
The men are the ones that wrote the laws, and they're the ones that enforce them. So I'm going to guess that the women bore the brunt of the punishment.
And the way they talk about the adulterous woman, right?
Yeah.
Like, there is no blame for the man there. So it sounds to me like the woman is the one that's always getting in trouble.
Because he got distracted by her. His eyes got put under her spell. Mm-hmm. Like a bandit, she lies in wait and multiplies the unfaithful among men. See? She's just standing there, like, just shaking it for all she's worth, and magic seduction rays come out of her.
It's all her fault that half the town, slept with her.
Yeah.
It's her fault.
Yes.
It's not the men's fault.
They didn't sleep with her. She slept with them.
She had fucking honey on her lips, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
How could the men be, in trouble for that?
She had rainbows coming out of her vagina.
Right. Yeah.
And as soon as the rainbows got in those men's eye, they had no choice.
It's tragic for those men,
It's the Care Bear stare, but it's vaginas instead of hearts.
A Care Bear thing lately.
I can't help it.
You can't help it.
It's vaginas instead of hearts.
Got it. Okay.
That's where the Care Bear stare is coming from.
Got it.
Okay. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has strife? Who has complaints? Who has needless bruises? Who has bloodshot eyes?
Me?
No, you don't have any of those.
I don't have woe or strife?
Okay, you do.
Okay.
Do you have sorrow?
Sometimes over, things.
Do you have complaints? Do you have
I definitely have complaints.
Do you have needless bruises and bloodshot eyes?
No, that would be more your thing when you run into things.
Oh, I do. I run into everything. My God. You guys, you would not believe how many bruises I have on my hips, like all the time, because I'm always like, oh shit, there's a corner there. Or, oh, look out for that wall.
And wife bruises so easily. I'm like, God damn it, everybody's going to think I beat you.
And it's true.
Not true.
It's the house. The house beats me because I trip over it all the goddamn time.
Right.
It's pretty sad.
And like, if you look at wife, she has like veins on the, they're on
my veins are on the outside.
And
it's true.
She bruises so fucking easily.
I'm probably anemic.
Something. Who knows?
I know. Yeah. Do you have bloodshot eyes? You don't.
No.
So, okay, I'm going to tell you who has all these things. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Those who linger over wine, who go to sample bowls of mixed wine. So, drunkards.
Oh, okay.
Do not gaze at wine when it is red.
What? There's literally red wine. Why can you not
Don't gaze at it. Take your eyes off it.
Okay.
When it sparkles in the cup, when it goes down smoothly, don't stare at it. Don't look at it.
Why?
Don't gaze at it. Because it'll hypnotize you. It'll put the Care Bear stare on you.
But Jesus, apparently.
No. Again, we're not there yet.
I know we're not there
Spoilers.
yet. Okay. All right.
We don't talk about Jesus yet. He hasn't been born yet.
Is wine bad?
Wine's bad.
Okay.
We don't like it. Don't do it.
All right.
In the end, it bites like a snake and poisons like a viper.
Damn.
It's so scary. Red wine is scary.
It scares me.
It's scarier
than... no way whatsoever.
It's scarier than a scary movie like The Exorcist. Or like Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Red wine is going to get you.
You and my mom must be in bad states. So
we are in bad states because I don't drink a lot except when I go to your mom's house. And she plies me with wine and I gladly drink it all.
Yeah.
Or if we eat Mexican food and I have margaritas.
That's not wine, though.
No. So that's fine.
Yeah.
I can have as many margaritas as I want. Yeah. I just got to stop going to your mom's house.
Right.
She's a honey-lipped vixen. Just get me with that wine. Your eyes will see strange sights and your mind will imagine confusing things.
Well, I mean, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, because you get drunk.
I mean, if you drink that much.
If you drink too much,
right.
Yeah. You will be like one sleeping on the high seas, lying on top of the rigging.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you were the world spinning, you definitely drank too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hit me, you will say, but I'm not hurt. They beat me, but I don't feel it. When will I wake up so I can find another drink?
Oh, my God.
You went from like having a glass of wine to getting drunk to now you're an alcoholic.
Yeah, right.
In one fell swoop.
I mean, obviously, alcoholism. We've talked about this just in maybe the last episode, even.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that's not a good thing.
Right.
Like you gotta. That's a hard thing to deal with, and oftentimes you do have to like not drink. But that doesn't mean that everybody has to follow those same rules, and not everybody is not like I can drink, and I don't crave alcohol.
Right.
It's more of a social thing for me. And
you never drink and drive ever.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, and I know a lot of people that are similar to me. Like, it's not so, but yes, I understand that alcoholism is a problem, but it doesn't mean that it's an evil thing. You just have to know how to deal with what you need to deal with.
Right.
I guess.
Everybody has ghosts.
Right.
And your ghost is not the same as my ghost.
Yeah.
What plagues you is not the thing that plagues me, and vice versa.
Right. So was that the end of the chapter?
That was the end of the chapter thing there.
All right. So we got an episode done.
We did.
A little bit late.
Yeah.
But it's done now.
It's done.
And so that was chapters 22 and 23.
The last half of 22,
and then 23.
And then chapter 23.
And then so tomorrow we'll be getting into
chapter 24, which will close up that next collection in the book of Proverbs.
All right. We'll see you guys then.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember where we're at? We just did one a few minutes ago, so you should remember.
Yes, we just finished with podcast with episode 22.5 and 23 of Proverbs.
Correct.
And we're getting ready to get into today
Proverbs chapter 24, which will then close out the third collection within the book of Proverbs.
Is there like a special name for this collection, or is it just like...
Yes, I told you it's the sayings of the wise.
Sayings of the wise, okay.
Or the words of the wise.
Words of the wise?
It's
okay.
both.
It's both.
Whatever
one floats your boat.
Yeah. It depends on what translation you're reading. Sometimes it's words
reading
of the
about
wise.
wise guys.
I like words to the wise, because it's a saying we have, like, a word to the wise. You may want to think about bloody blah, 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 when some, uppity schmuck is, offering advice.
Got it.
Let me give you a word to the wise.
So we're doing Proverbs chapter
24.
And you ready to get into this?
I sure as fuck am. Are you?
I am. Let's
do
it.
All right. All right. So we are continuing on with this third collection of
wise
Proverbs, the sayings of the wise, which are precepts and warnings. And, okay, this made me think of a song.
Oh, of course it did.
Yes.
Of course it did.
It starts off, do not envy the wicked. Do not desire their company. Which, of course, is not how the song Ain't No Rest for the Wicked by Cage the Elephant goes.
Okay.
It's not how it goes.
Got it.
For their hearts plot violence and their lips talk about making trouble.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So.
Those wicked people.
Yeah.
Stay away from them.
Sorry, I had to do Cage the Elephant there for a minute because it's a good song.
It is a good song. I do like Cage the Elephant. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm not sure I want it to turn biblical though.
No. I would prefer if the Bible turned Cage the Elephant rather than Cage the Elephant turned Bible.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I wish the Bible would get more cool.
There might be some. I'd have to listen to the song. There might be some biblical references in that song. I don't know. I could be wrong about that.
Money don't grow on trees. That doesn't sound.
Yeah, it doesn't sound biblical.
No. By wisdom a house is built, and through understanding it is established. I think through hard work of people using hammer and nails in their hands.
That's usually the way it goes. Yeah.
Didn't you work on houses for a while?
I did. I did siding and trim work.
Yeah.
So yeah,
construction.
I actually enjoyed that when I was younger. It was fun.
Yeah.
It's something you get to do. Something you can point to it and say, "I did that."
Yeah.
It's kind of. I still love making things and building things and tinkering with things
with your hands.
Yeah, it's definitely. If I had a hobby, it's just tinkering with shit.
You do love to tinker.
Yeah.
My husband is a tinker toy. Through knowledge, its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
Through the money that you make at your job, you can afford to fill the rooms with rare and beautiful treasures.
Right. Yeah.
Like board games and records and cats and...
They didn't have much of that back in the biblical times, though.
No.
I don't know what they would have collected back then.
Pottery and...
Maybe, yeah.
Gold.
Sure.
Lots of gold.
Yeah. Carvings, maybe.
Okay.
If you had a lot of money, maybe you could commission like a carving.
Probably inks, like for the color of cloth that their dresses and tents were.
Tablets, maybe.
Oh, tablets!
Not like a set of books.
Not like a Kindle Fire.
No.
Not like that kind of tablet.
No.
Like rock tablets.
Rock tablets, yeah.
You think?
That'd be a neat little bookshelf, right?
Oh my god.
Bookshelf full of rock tablets.
That would be awesome. Like I want to go get a bunch of rocks that are shaped like stone tablets.
And then just like chisel some shit into them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As decoration.
Right.
That would be cool. The wise prevail through great power, and those who have knowledge muster their strength.
Okay.
Do they?
I don't know.
I don't necessarily think that the people in power are wise. I think that they're just louder than the rest of us and manage to work their way up.
I kind of feel like the people that are wise and have knowledge kind of get shit on, actually.
Yeah.
So
I'm
not sure that that's exactly true.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Surely you need guidance to wage war, and victory is won through many advisors, because, that's why you get a leader, is specifically to go to war.
But also, if you have a large army, you don't really need any of that shit. You just,
Right.
Say, I want to go do that war over there. And then people are like, okay, here's how you do it. And then you're like, okay, you don't got to be wise.
Yeah. You just have to have wise people around you and a large army to lead them.
Right.
But I just find it funny that the whole reason that you want a leader is specifically so that you can go to war with other people.
Right.
Like, what if we just have a leader that helps us live better lives and have clean water and food for everybody?
It'd be great, wouldn't
housing for the poor. Like, everybody gets a place to live.
Now, that being said, I will say that we cannot ignore, like, it's a fine line to walk, but I would love to say that I'm a complete pacifist with regard to the international community, but the fact remains that if we let people walk over us,
sure,
there has to be some sort of a, or else
I feel like
for the rest of the world.
I feel like you're tiptoeing around but we have to support the war in Ukraine. We have to help Ukraine.
Things like that, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Right.
Yes. For the greater good toward peace in the end, we have to knock the bully off his block.
Right.
Right. Like, he's trying to take over the world. We gotta put Putin down.
Right. Right.
Or at least not let him
step all over us.
Right.
Right.
Which right now means protecting Ukraine.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yes, peace would be the best option. So let's get there.
Yeah.
Let's get the bully out of the way so we can go back to having some peace.
Right.
Right. Wisdom is too high for fools.
It's up on the top shelf. They're short, maybe.
You know what also is too high?
What's that?
People with edibles. Which
not if you take just the right amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to be too high. It just could be too high.
Recreational marijuana is on the ballot in Ohio this November.
I'm excited about that.
Me too. Do you think it'll pass?
I really hope so. It needs to.
I hope it passes too.
Yeah. Like, there's no reason why it should be outlawed.
Nope. It should not be outlawed. So let us hope.
Right.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
In the assembly at the gate, they must not open their mouths.
Why not?
Because wisdom is too high for fools.
Okay. But, like, the assembly at the gate, right? They're probably protesting something, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And that's when you open your mouth. But they're saying don't protest, or don't,
I don't really...
I don't understand that.
I don't really know what it means.
Okay.
Pass.
Yeah.
Whoever plots evil will be known as a schemer.
That is actually cold. Yeah, that's correct.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Good on you.
Good job.
The schemes of folly are sin, and people detest a mocker. Yeah.
How do you determine which ones are the schemes of folly, though?
The schemes.
Again, it comes down to just determining what sin actually is.
But people do detest a mocker.
Sure, unless you're mocking somebody who is deserving of mocking.
But even
what if we're all mocking Trump?
Right. But even then, we try to tell each other, okay, but we don't need to attack his weight or his age or like other things. Come on.
Sure.
So that's like, we can all detest him and not be like there's no sense fat shaming, even for a piece of shit like Trump. Who tries to say that he only weighs 215 pounds and I'm here to call bullshit. Not because it matters, but because he's a fucking liar.
Right.
If you falter in a time of trouble, how small is your strength?
Wow. That's shitty.
Wow.
Yeah, like, why? You're having trouble. People fall. That's crappy.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
Nope. Rescue those being led away to death. Hold back those staggering towards slaughter. Yeah.
Rescue. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm good with that.
That's an argument against capital punishment.
Yeah.
Like the death penalty and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah. Rescue those being led away to death.
Right.
And hold back those staggering towards slaughter. Like, fight hungry people. Warmongering.
Got it.
hold them back.
Sure.
Yeah, we don't need...
But they also condone the death penalty in the Bible, so I don't think that's what that... You could use that as an argument, but
well, I don't know what they mean otherwise. Then I don't know what it means otherwise. Whatever.
I don't know.
I don't care. If you say, "But we knew nothing about this," does not he who weighs the heart perceive it? Don't be that guy that's like, "I was just following rules. I didn't know." Right?
Right.
Does not he who guards your life know it? God knows your heart.
He doesn't though.
But he knows if you were just like passing the buck.
He doesn't. He doesn't know shit though.
Right? No, I agree with you, but that's what this is saying.
Even in the Bible, in canon, God doesn't know everybody's heart,
except for when He changes your heart, like He did with Pharaoh.
Sure. Sometimes He does know specific people's hearts, but generally He can't find a fucking
needle in a haystack.
Well, yeah,
his ass out of a paper bag.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. His way around a cardboard box.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I was filling in the blank with all the things.
Yeah, I was trying to. Yeah, I was drawing nothing.
Yeah.
Out of my brain.
Right. Got it. Will He not repay everyone according to what they have done? That's what I hear, but
that's what they say.
Huh. Eat honey, my son, for it is good.
But keep it off your lips.
Keep it off your goddamn lips.
Yeah.
Honey from the comb is sweet to your taste.
It really is, actually. I have not had a honeycomb in a while, but those are so goddamn good.
Are they?
Oh, man.
Okay. Know also that wisdom is like honey for you. If you find it, there is a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off.
So we only don't like honey when it's on a woman's vixen's lip.
Yeah. If she got hot lip.
Right.
Hot lip Houlihan.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Do not lurk like a thief near the house of the righteous. Do not plunder their dwelling place.
I mean, don't steal from anybody.
Yeah. But don't lurk. Don't be a lurky-loo.
I mean, don't lurk anywhere. Yeah. Not just the righteous. Just don't lurk.
Don't lurk. Don't be a lurker. Don't be a mocker and don't be a lurker.
Yeah.
Okay. And don't plunder. Yeah. For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again. But the wicked stumble when calamity strikes. Sure.
Okay.
Do not gloat when your enemy falls. Ooh. Don't have that schadenfreude. Right. I'm like, but I do though.
Yeah.
I want to be a better person, you guys.
It's hard not to have it.
I'm just not. I'm not a better person.
Right.
When they stumble, do not let your heart rejoice, or the Lord will see and disapprove and turn His wrath away from them.
Really?
So hold on. My enjoyment of their punishment is worse than whatever fucking crime they did in the first place.
I call bullshit.
Me being, unfortunately, having a bit of schadenfreude at McConnell having mini strokes, that's worse than the years of damage that he has done to people throughout his life. No. My schadenfreude is worse than his actual crimes against humanity. Are you fucking kidding me? I fucking protest that vehemently.
I gathered that.
And with all my fucking heart.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to put that on me. Fuck you. My crime is my crime, and I'll do my time for whatever shit I'm doing. But don't say that well, I was going to punish this murderer, but you laughed when he tripped, so now I'm going to let him get away.
Yeah, that's kind of shitty of God, actually.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
You can still go ahead and punish that murderer or what the fuck ever.
Right.
You know?
And if you want to be mad at me on the side, then that's different. That's a different matter.
But don't let him go murder more people just because I laughed when he fell.
Right.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. That is not wisdom.
Right.
That is not wisdom or justice or anything smart, good, or true.
No.
I gotta tell you, this God is pissing me off.
He just now figured that out?
No.
Okay.
I just
happened again.
It's a perpetual reminder every few chapters that he's a dick.
Right.
And that was the one that set me off today.
Yes.
Because that's bullshit.
I agree.
Good. So do not gloat when your enemy falls, for when they stumble, do not let your heart rejoice, for the Lord will see and disapprove and turn His wrath away from them. Fuck you. Do not fret because of evildoers, or be envious of the wicked, for the evildoer has no future hope, and the lamp of the wicked will be snuffed out. False.
I mean,
false.
They keep saying it, though.
They keep saying it, and I keep seeing it not be true. So
right.
False.
Yeah.
Fear the Lord and the king, my son, and do not join with rebellious officials, for those two will send sudden destruction on them, and who knows what calamities they can bring.
Okay.
Do not join with rebellious officials.
I don't know who they're referring to exactly, but I'm assuming they don't want you to stir up trouble, basically. Or they don't want officials to stir up trouble, or
I guess fear the Lord and the king, like
the king is the mouthpiece of God, right?
So if there are rebellious people,
they're going against God.
Yeah, assume that they're bad guys.
Sure.
Even if they are actually fighting on the right
cause,
side.
Right.
Yeah. Because the king can do no wrong.
That's how I'm reading it, I think.
Okay.
And I call bullshit, but whatever.
Yeah, bullshit, whatever.
Yeah.
Got it. These also are sayings of the wise. To show partiality in judging is not good. Fair. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoever says to the guilty, "You are innocent," will be cursed by peoples and denounced by nations. I mean, they should be. They won't, but they should be.
Right.
But it will go well with those who convict the guilty, and rich blessing will come upon them.
We can only hope.
We can only hope. I mean, I would love to see Trump serve sometime, but I have a feeling.
Watch that Schadenfreude. Might,
I'm talking about justice. I'm not talking about personal enjoyment.
There you go.
Yep. Now, my Schadenfreude is something I guess we could discuss, but that's on a different day.
Right, right.
An honest answer is like a kiss on the lips.
Okay.
An honest answer is like putting honey on your lips.
It must be pretty rare that they get an honest answer then, because
you're not supposed to kiss people that often. Right?
I mean, you wouldn't think so, right? Just seems like a very special scenario.
Right?
Oh, you were honest, man.
That's a kiss you.
You're right.
Mwah. Put your outdoor work in order and get your fields ready. After that, build your house.
Sure. I don't have any fields to get ready. I do have a yard that I could work on a little bit more.
I'm trying to understand what this means. Like, get your shit in order before you decorate.
I think you remember how they were talking about sluggards earlier and how they never have the fields plowed on time and they don't have any, you know, blah, 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 whatever.
Right.
So I think this is just more of the get your shit done and you'll reap the rewards.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
And it's telling you what order to do it in because you got to get those fields planted and then you can worry about the house.
So you got to get a job before you can afford a mortgage.
Well, that, and, you got to plant the seeds in spring, and once you get that, like, that's early on in the season, so then you can worry about the house after you get the seeds planted. Whatever.
But I'm talking about how that applies to today.
Yeah, get a job, then you can worry about the house.
Get a mortgage.
Right.
Exactly. Okay. Do not testify against your neighbor without cause. Would you use your lips to mislead? I would if there was honey on them. But there's not, so no, I wouldn't. Do not say, "I'll do to them as they have done to me. I'll pay them back for what they did." So don't be vengeful. Don't be an ass. Right. Got it. So it's not an eye for an eye. Got it.
I mean, not there.
Not there.
Yeah.
It is in other places, but not this one.
Right.
I went past the field of a sluggard, past the vineyard of someone who has no sense. Thorns had come up everywhere. The ground was covered with weeds, and the stone wall was in ruins. I applied my heart to what I observed and learned a lesson from what I saw. Ready?
Don't be lazy.
A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief.
Yeah,
and scarcity like an armed man.
You can't have that rest. You can't sleep. Jesus.
No. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest.
Folding of the hands, huh?
Don't do that. Don't have a little sleep.
Yeah.
Don't have a little slumber. Don't have a little folding of the hands to rest.
Right.
Only ever be working all the time. Okay?
Yeah.
Never, ever go to bed.
I mean, sometimes I feel like I work all the time.
Even the Lord took a rest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So fuck off.
Right.
I don't care for that.
I don't think, yeah.
Whatever. Okay. So ain't no rest for the wicked.
Right. No, there is rest for the wicked.
There's only rest for the wicked.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah,
okay.
you're like rolling your finger at me like, okay, keep going. And I'm like,
no, I didn't know that you were done. I
am done now.
I didn't know that was the last bit.
That was the last bit.
I apologize.
I thought you saw I'm at the bottom.
Well, I mean, I did, but sometimes,
Nope, I'm
done. More to go. All right. So that was Proverbs chapter 24.
Sure as fuck was. And it was the end of the third collection.
Awesome. So that means that we're getting back into more Solomon shit.
Yep. Starting tomorrow with Proverbs chapter 25, we will get into the fourth collection.
Well, hopefully this collection is slightly better than the last collection.
Do you believe that?
I'm going to choose to be positive here.
You're hoping that, but do you believe that?
I don't really believe it, but I am hoping it.
Okay.
So,
got it.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yep. Bye. Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember where we are today?
Well, we just finished with one of the collections, and that was about wise guys, right? Wise guys?
Wise sayings.
The wise sayings
of the wise.
Wise guys, yeah. Why you gotta be a wise guy?
Wise words. Words to the wise.
And that means that today we're getting back into some more Solomonic Proverbs. Is that correct?
That is correct. We are starting the fourth collection within the collection of the book of Proverbs.
Okay.
And as you said, they are the Solomonic Proverbs, or the further collection of Solomonic Proverbs, or more Proverbs of Solomon.
Hold on, I'm gonna celebrate real quick. Yay! There we go.
You're so silly.
Now we're ready to get into these.
These comprise chapters 25 through 29.
Okay.
So we're starting Proverbs chapter 25 today.
All right, let's go do this.
Okie dokie. Okay, so as I said, we're getting into Proverbs chapter 25.
Okay.
It's the fourth collection within the book of Proverbs.
All right.
And I just wanted to say a couple things about them before we start.
Go for it.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, first of all, they were supposed to have been transmitted and edited by royal scribes during the reign of Hezekiah.
Transmitted sounds like it's an STD.
Or an STI. Yes. But they were put together supposedly during the reign of Hezekiah.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And toward that, they are also put together a little bit differently. Like, the last Proverbs that we've been reading have all been good is good and bad is bad. Therefore,
yes.
Be good and don't be bad.
Not happy with those.
Right. But they're like set up in this, so that.
Right. Yeah.
So these are set up not like that.
Well, there's something worth celebrating.
Right. And
that's amazing.
I thought I would point that out, that they are written a little differently.
Makes me happy-ish.
Sure.
So,
I think they are going to read a little bit more like the parables did.
Okay.
Or not the parables, the Psalms.
Psalms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So they might be a little more psalmy than proverby.
Awesome.
So
happy.
These are comparisons and moral lessons. Here we go.
Okay.
These are more Proverbs of Solomon compiled by the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah. It is the glory of God to conceal a matter. To search out a matter is the glory of kings. As the heavens are high and the earth is deep, so the hearts of kings are unsearchable. Okay,
so they're saying what? Like, it sounds like that they're saying that concealing something is heavenly. Is that what I'm to gather here? As long as it's a king, because kings are, extra special people.
Only kings can search out a matter.
So this is that the common man doesn't need to be privy to all the information, because kings are so much more special and obviously direct lines to God and stuff. So they are extra special and deserve more information than everybody else.
Sure. Yeah, y'all commoners, you poors out there, you just don't know.
You don't get it, yeah. You're not a king.
Don't worry about it.
You didn't get born into this. Jesus, what's wrong with you?
So don't worry your pretty little head.
I fucking hate that type of thinking.
Me too. Remove the dross from the silver, and a silversmith can produce a vessel. Remove wicked officials from the king's presence, and his throne will be established through righteousness.
So basically get rid of everybody the king doesn't like.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like Trump will do if he gets back into office.
Right.
Do not exalt yourself in the king's presence, and do not claim a place among his great men. It is better for him to say, "Come up here," than for him to humiliate you before his nobles.
Okay, first of all, this does not feel like Solomonic Proverbs. This feels like a king taking Solomon and saying, "These are kingly things, and this is what Solomon said, so just listen to this shit."
Yeah.
And I don't like this. This is dumb.
Right.
And it's a king using Solomon to because it's Hezekiah, right?
You know what this is? This is the way the Republican Party uses Martin Luther King Jr.'s words.
Right?
Yeah. That's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
They're like trying to sell the "I had a dream" speech.
Right.
As they are being racist and like promoting the opposite of what MLK stood for.
Right. Pay no attention to the shitty man behind the curtain.
Right.
But these are beautiful words, aren't they?
Aren't they?
So you got to listen to them.
Yeah. So come up here. He'll call you up if he wants you.
But to some extent, like that specific thing there, you don't like. It's better to be recognized independently of your own bravado, right?
Sure.
And
but
it means more.
But let's not assume that that's going to happen.
Right.
It's kind of like if I come up to you and I'm like, "Do you love me?" That's not as special as if you just say, "I love you," out of the blue.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I can agree with that. I don't agree with the whole king aspect of this, but because I feel like sometimes with people that are in high places, you do have to yell a little bit to get them to notice you.
Right.
So I don't know.
Kings, what you gonna do?
Kings, right? Yeah.
What you have seen with your eyes, do not bring hastily to court. For what will you do in the end if your neighbor puts you to shame? So
don't trust your eyes because somebody else.
Maybe you don't know the whole story.
Maybe.
If you take your neighbor to court, do not betray another's confidence, or the one who hears it may shame you, and the charge against you will stand.
So, yeah. Okay.
This is bullshit.
It sounds like a lot of shittiness to me.
Yeah.
Because
mind your business.
How about we just tell, like, wouldn't the better virtue just be tell the truth, tell us what you saw?
Right.
You know, those would be the better virtues here, wouldn't they?
Be a good witness. Whether that gets somebody into trouble or not. Just be honest.
These sound like sneaky ways around not getting people in trouble if they don't want to get in trouble.
Right, exactly.
All this sounds shitty sneakiness, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Like apples of gold in settings of silver is a ruling rightly given. Apples of gold.
In settings of silver?
Is a ruling rightly given.
Okay.
Like an earring of gold or an ornament of fine gold is the rebuke of a wise judge to a listening ear. Meaning gods are awesome and kings are gods and kings are awesome too.
This is the judges.
Right.
Which, I mean, oftentimes I guess the king was the judge, sort of. But the people in high places that laid their judgment on you, they're awesome. And you have no reason to doubt their authority at all.
They speak for the king, and the king speaks for God, so you commoners don't worry about it.
You know what? Fuck that thinking. That is a bunch of bullshit, and I will challenge anybody that is a shitty piece of crap.
Yeah.
So...
if you didn't suck, I wouldn't have to speak up.
In fact, we've gone through some stuff in our life that I would challenge the thinking of people in charge in judging positions. So I'll just leave it there for the night.
Yeah.
But
power of position doesn't come with understanding or wisdom or kindness or goodness.
Right.
So fuck off with that.
Yeah.
Like a snow-cooled drink at harvest time is a trustworthy messenger to the one who sends him. He refreshes the spirit of his master.
Did somebody bring the king what was it? A snow-cooled drink?
An icy?
I'm like,
slushy?
What is it? What?
A
get a milkshake
drink
or something?
at harvest time. They're just saying, make sure if you are going to be the messenger that you're good in. Like,
Okay.
deliver good messages, deliver them
you
well.
You wouldn't want to bring that actual news. That would be could be tragic for you.
Bring accurate news.
This king apparently kills the messenger.
Well, if it's somebody he can rely on, it's not necessarily saying only bring good news. It's saying bring accurate news.
Okay.
Be reliable, trustworthy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
Like clouds and wind without rain is one who boasts of gifts never given.
Just blow hard, basically.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to give you that Etch-a-Sketch, but...
Right. ...
Like...
Yeah.
Who boasts of gifts never given?
I mean, I can see that. It's like the person that always one-ups you with the story, even though you know it's not true.
Oh.
You know, like, they always claim that they're going to do something amazing, or they did something amazing, and none of it's actually true.
Right.
But they want to make themselves seem uber important and relevant, I guess. I don't really know why that happens, but it does happen, and it happens a lot. Mm-hmm. So
they're always the been there, done that person.
Oh my God,
I hate that person.
Have you ever told I have gone on like with 5 or 6 different stories, only to be one-upped on every single one of them, and I'm like, there's literally no fucking way.
Right.
No fucking way. That's not even possible.
Right.
And it's just so aggravating when that happens. I'm like, first of all, you could just keep your mouth shut and let me tell my story.
Right.
Secondly, you literally one-up me on every fucking story.
Right.
That's...
But
I was actually kind of testing you with the last ones just to see what would happen, you know? And sure enough, you know.
Did you tell them that you almost made it into the Olympics to see if they actually got there?
I didn't go that far, no.
You should have.
I should have, yeah.
You should have.
Right. I think maybe even they have a line that they might not cross just to see, you know.
Well, if you feel drawn into this competition again.
I might try that next time. Just like say something absolutely insane.
Yeah, like when I was younger, I almost made it into the Olympics, but I pulled a hamstring at the last minute.
Right.
And so, you know, I mean, to be fair, I was only going to be an alternate. You know, like make it where it's almost believable.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Like, okay, I'll be honest with you. It wasn't the actual team. I was going to be an alternate.
Right.
But I pulled a hamstring, so I didn't get to go.
Yeah.
But you got to have your details down. Like, you got to know which Olympics was it, what sport was it, and who all was there. You know what I mean? You got to have your story down.
I'm going to have something like that ready to go.
Yeah.
Just to try it out.
Yeah. Do.
Next time somebody does something like that.
Yeah. I think you should.
Okay.
Through patience, a ruler can be persuaded, and a gentle tongue can break a bone.
I can...
The pen is mightier than the sword?
Something like that. I think it's more like it's my approach. It's the way that I can whittle somebody down to make them see my way over time nicely. And then eventually get them to, you know.
Whereas I'm like, lost cause, can't be bothered.
Right. Yeah, but I'll take the long route and you know, work my case. So
yeah. You win.
I mean, sometimes. Sometimes.
If you find honey, eat just enough. Too much of it, and you gonna vomit.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say that about pretty much anything.
Moderation, my friends.
Right. Yeah.
Including moderation.
Yep. That's not bad advice.
Right. Seldom set foot in your neighbor's house. Too much of you, and they will hate ya.
Damn.
I mean, that's true.
I guess.
Like.
I mean.
Like, don't overstay your welcome.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like a club or a sword or a sharp arrow is one who gives false testimony against a neighbor. Yeah. Don't be a liar face.
Yeah.
Don't be an ass.
But again, they just said, like, they kind of contradicted that a little bit.
No, the other one was don't say anything.
Right.
This one is
don't bear false witness.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, don't lie on them. Don't make up a story, but nor do you need to outright tattle on them either.
Right. Okay.
Like a broken tooth or a lame foot is reliance on the unfaithful in a time of trouble. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Okay.
Like, did you ever have a time when you asked somebody for help or you asked for a favor or something and you kind of assumed that the answer would be yes, and then the answer was no, and you were like, oh.
I mean, I think you've run into that more than I have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I maybe it's because I'm a man. I don't know, but it tends to be when I ask people for help, I get it. So I don't run into that as often as you did.
I think that it has to do with that. I don't discount that.
Right.
I also think it has to do with our families.
Sure.
Your family is a lot different from mine.
Right. And a lot of the friends that I have acquired over the years have they have a lot of loyalty to me, it seems like.
They do. They follow you.
Yeah.
From one job to the next even.
Right.
You collect people, which
I do.
I love about you. It's really cool because you have your own friends, I have my own friends, and then we have our friends together. And, friends that we have made together over the years.
Yeah.
But it's nice that we each have our own separate things.
Right.
And people that you have relationships with that predate me.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Well, and there's people that I could call up out of the blue and like they would probably do, like people I haven't talked to in years.
Yeah.
That I could probably elicit help from if I really wanted to.
Right.
So.
I make friends kind of easily, but I don't keep them very easily.
Right. But I mean, you tend to.
My friends are more situational. I mean, my best friend has been my best friend for like over 10 years, like probably 15 years now.
Right.
And that's awesome. But
yeah.
And we've had to work at our friendship.
Sure.
Because there's been times when one of us was going through stuff and we didn't talk for several months, and it wasn't like avoiding each other, it just life happens. And then like we had to make the effort, which I'm not good at, but we had to make the effort to contact the other one when it might have felt awkward to do so.
Sure.
And now we understand that we can go through that if we need to.
Right.
Which is cool. But most other friends, once I lost contact, I didn't pursue, and they didn't either. So I kind of feel like whatever.
Yeah.
It was just situational.
I would say that, and this is just my 2 cents. I think your friendship with your best friend is a lot better than any of my friendships with my friends. My friends are more specific to a certain thing. Like, this friend is going to come over and do that, or this friend's going to come over and do this, or what have you. Like, it's we have our set activity that we do, and that's what we do.
Okay, I see.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and they're all very reliable and very good friends. But I would say you have a deeper connection with your friend than I do.
Sure.
So
I mean, I could cry on my friend's shoulder. I don't know that you would necessarily call up any of your guy pals.
No.
To cry on their shoulder.
No.
But
probably not.
But you've got.
I mean, I guess I could.
You've got a couple though that would commiserate and would definitely come hang out with you and see through your hard times.
For sure.
So
for sure.
Yeah. I don't know how we got off on that.
Yeah, that was a long tangent there.
My bad. Like one who takes away a garment on a cold day, or like vinegar poured on a wound, is one who sings songs to a heavy heart.
Okay. One who takes away a garment on a cold day, or pours vinegar on a wound. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is what now?
One who sings songs to a heavy heart.
That doesn't sound like
that doesn't go
together. That doesn't match up to me.
Because I think if you sing songs to a heavy heart, that's helpful, right?
Well, I would think so.
And if you pour vinegar on a wound, it hurts, but vinegar is cleansing, right?
Maybe, probably.
I mean, that's the way I was leaning.
That's the way I'm going to think of it. But taking away garments on a cold
day is not.
That doesn't sound good.
So I'm not.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding one of the steps here. I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm not either.
So let's pass.
Pass. If your enemy is hungry, give him food to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink, or a beer, whichever's more appropriate.
Sure, yeah.
In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head. What? Whoa, what?
Killing them with kindness.
And the Lord will reward you.
Killing them with kindness.
I don't really want to put burning coals on anybody's head.
Right. But that's not what they actually mean,
no,
obviously.
Okay. It's just that threw me for a minute because they're like, be nice and give people what they need. And by doing so, you will murder them hard with fire.
It's
Wait,
how
what?
it's how I get extra nice to people that are shitty with me. And then I kill them with kindness and make them like me by the end of it.
Yeah.
Even though maybe I didn't treat them as well as some other people I might have treated better.
Right.
That's all.
I didn't follow it at first. See, okay.
It made sense to me because it's something that I actually do.
Right. No, I get it now. But as I was reading it, I didn't take in all the words. So if your enemy is hungry, give him food to eat. I didn't read the word enemy in my head.
Okay.
So it's just like, yeah, someone's hungry, give them food. Someone's thirsty, give them water.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, wait, what? Burning coals? Hold on. But now I just reread it and I'm like, oh, your enemy. Okay. That's the word. That's the important part that was missing there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes
I think I've given you that advice on dealing with certain people.
Yes, you have.
In the recent, past here.
The recent, the last 10 years?
Sure, yeah.
Is that what you're...
Sometime in that time frame, yeah. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyway, like a north wind that brings unexpected rain is a sly tongue which provokes a horrified look. Yeah,
I guess that's what that is. That's okay.
Right.
We'll just accept that one at face value.
Sure.
Yeah.
Better to live on a corner of a roof than to share a house with a quarrelsome wife.
There it is again. Yeah.
Because that bitch going to quarrel you.
I think we already went into depth about that one.
Yeah,
it was like 2 episodes ago.
Like cold water to a weary soul is good news from a distant land.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I get down with that.
Yeah.
Sure. Like a mud. These are all synonyms or metaphors or similes. Similes. Is that the one? Similes.
You're the English major here, so.
These are similes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that is how they are different from the other ones. They are not psalm-like, though.
Got it.
So I apologize.
No, they're not, because it's not good versus bad necessarily. It's just like, this is like this.
No. No. I said they're not psalm-like, meaning they're not. The psalms were like poems. You're thinking of the first Solomonic things, which was the good is good, bad is bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm correcting you here.
Got it. Sorry.
Okay. Like a muddied spring or a polluted well are the righteous who give way to the wicked.
So you're shitty if you give way to the wicked, huh? What if they're just being really wicked that day and you just like, dude, fine, whatever.
I'm not following it, I guess. What?
It's clouding you're allowing them to cloud your judgment. You're allowing them to screw up your righteous path by letting them do something.
I guess I just need an example of a righteous person giving way to the wicked. I guess I just need to understand what that means. Like, if somebody cuts in front of you in line.
Yeah. That would be actually.
Sometimes you just let them do it because it's fucking easier.
Right. I think that's a good example, actually.
Although I'm the asshole that's like, my guy, there's a line.
Right. But there's also advice that says you just keep your mouth shut, too.
Right.
In the Bible that we've read recently.
Right. I mean, it really depends on the situation. Sometimes I'm like, no, get to the back of the line. Right. And other times I'm like, whatever.
Sure.
I can't be bothered. It is not good to eat too much honey, nor is it honorable to search out matters that are too deep.
Wow. Okay.
You don't need to worry about it.
I mean, they covered the not eating too much honey earlier in this chapter.
They also talked already about don't worry your pretty little head over shit. The kings and the judges got it.
Yeah, they got that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just keep it simple.
You go be common.
Right.
Like a city whose walls are broken. Oh, let me start that again.
That'd be like Jericho.
Yeah. Like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. Like a bull in a china shop.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. I guess. I mean, I'm guessing it's you're letting the enemies in if your walls are broken, right?
Yeah.
So it's essentially the same thought. If you, what was the analogy again?
You lack self-control.
Oh, you laugh. Okay. So you're letting that bat in, I guess.
Right.
Or whatever.
Okay. So not like a bull in a china shop.
Not really. No, I don't think it's them destroying the wall. It's you're letting something happen.
You're letting something in that you shouldn't.
Right.
So you should control yourself.
Sure. Okay.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah. These are kind of silly.
That was the end?
That was the end.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was Proverbs chapter 25.
Sure as fuck was.
And we won't be back tomorrow because tomorrow is Saturday.
Correct.
And we will be back on Sunday with a
Sacrilegious Book Club.
That's right. And then we will be back on Monday with
Proverbs Chapter 26. And Sunday night you will be putting out your weekly wrap-up.
And I'm gonna do my damnedest to get it done on time this time and try to remember to actually fucking do it because I suck at it.
You really do.
I get it out eventually.
You do get it out.
But I do suck at it.
It's kind of like one might call you constipated.
Is that what they might call me?
I mean, sometimes it sticks there, but then eventually you get it out.
Yeah, I guess that could be an apt analogy. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that being said, we'll see you guys.
Yep.
Bye.
Husband.
Wife.
Do you know what today is?
Well, it is Sunday, and we're not doing a Patreon special episode today, so that leaves
Sacrilegious Book Club.
Right. And what are we covering today?
Well, we are still in the book A Treasury of Jewish Folklore, Stories, Traditions, Legends, Humor, Wisdom, and Folk Songs of the Jewish People, edited by Nathan Ozubel. And today we are going to be getting into some, fools and stuff like that.
Fools, eh?
Yeah. I'll get a little more into it when we get into the show.
They must have gone for those honey-lipped women or something.
Yeah, they did.
Taking the wrong path somewhere.
They did. They did not choose the side of wisdom.
Got it. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go do this.
Okie dokie. Okay, so Sacrilegious Book Club.
That's the one.
Yeah. And okay, so part 1 was Jewish Salt.
Yeah.
Part 2 was Heroes.
Okay.
We are in part 3, the Human Comedy.
Okay.
We're in chapter 1, Droll.
Fools? Oh,
Droll characters.
Droll characters.
Mm-hmm. And we are in part 3, Fools and Simpletons.
Fools, there it is.
Underneath of which falls the wisdom of Chelm, which we'll get into in a second.
Got it.
But Fools and Simpletons.
Simpletons, yeah.
Symptom of simpletons. Yeah. So this section starts on page 319.
Okay.
So we are really cruising along through this book.
Yep.
Not at all.
Right.
But it's a big book.
We're about halfway through.
Almost. Yeah. Almost halfway
we're getting there. Yeah.
Again, this starts on page 319, and the introduction starts off, laughing at the absurdities of fools is one of the oldest diversions of mankind. There is within all of us a deep-seated psychological drive to achieve self-elevation by means of disparaging others whom we are pleased to consider less bright than ourselves. A fool, of course, is always the other fellow, never ourselves.
Do you ever wonder who is at the bottom of that spiraling pit of foolishness?
Well, there are people who know they are fools. And I didn't really pick any of those stories because they were beyond dumb.
Got it.
There are stories in which they're like, no, that's me, I'm the dumb.
Got it.
Yeah. Things like somebody says, I'm the guy, but he means it. Bad example. I can't do it. I can't do it justice.
Okay.
I cannot do it justice.
Got it.
It's the one where they go home and they quote the guy, but they quote him as though, just never mind. Cut all this out. I can't do it. I'm the fool. I'm the fool. Okay?
Okay. All right.
So, this goes on with a modern Jewish saying that says, it is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools.
Okay.
Which that comes from the Bible.
Yeah,
like we've
that
heard
sounds
that.
very similar to what we're reading right now, actually.
Right. That's why I was like, oh, this is a good saying,
Yeah.
because I'm pretty sure that came straight out of like
Proverbs.
Yeah. Right? However, there is still another tradition about fools among the Jewish.
Okay.
It, on the contrary, is not scornful, but understanding and compassionate. Like when Jeremiah, whom we have not quite gotten to yet, he's a prophet, he says, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom. And that attitude leads to the saying, all wise people act foolishly sometimes.
I would agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love this little example story that's written right into the introduction. There's a whimsical little story in the Talmud about a man who had left a will stipulating, my son shall not receive his inheritance until he becomes foolish. The rabbinical judges were confounded by this clause. What on earth could it mean? So they decided to call on the astute Rabbi Joshua ben Korah. This was in the 2nd century A.D., in order to ask his advice in the matter. When they entered the rabbi's house, they drew back in amazement. There on the floor, crawling on all fours, was Rabbi Joshua. With a cord in his mouth and his little son astride him, he was playing the time-honored game of horsey. When Rabbi Joshua regained his dignity and listened to the rabbi's question about the will, he could not contain his mirth. My masters, he laughed, I have given you a concrete illustration of your case. Know that everyone becomes foolish as soon as he has children.
That is true.
Right? You never act sillier than when you are trying to make a child laugh.
Right.
Or when you are enjoying the company of a child.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty great.
Yeah.
So the introduction goes on to talk a little bit about this little town called Chelm, which I'll get into when we reach that section. Okay.
Yep.
Here is the first little story that falls under this section. It's on page 321, and it's called What Makes a Fool? And to me, this really just tells the whole story.
Okay.
A fool went to the rabbi and said, I know I'm a fool, Rabbi, but I don't know what to do about it. Please advise me what to do. Ah, my son, exclaimed the rabbi in a complimentary way. If you know you're a fool, then you surely are no fool. Then why does everybody say I'm a fool? Complained the man. The rabbi regarded him thoughtfully for a moment. If you yourself don't understand that you're a fool, he chided him, but only listen to what people say, then surely you are a fool. So basically, you are whatever you believe.
Sure.
And if what you believe is based on what other people say, then, you know,
you're a fool.
You deserve the insult.
Right.
The next one follows right after. It's called Some of the Nicest People. A Jew came to his rabbi to lodge a complaint against other members of the congregation. Rabbi, he asked plaintively, do you think it right of them to call me a fool? The rabbi listened with sympathy. Why get upset by such a trifle? He consoled him. Do you think fools are so very different from other people? Believe me, some of the nicest people I've ever known were fools. Why, even a fine, intelligent man like you could be one. I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
Those pretty much tell the entire story of this section.
Well, I mean, it brings something to my mind, and that's that there's always somebody out there that's going to think you're a fool.
Right.
You know, and we're always going to think that somebody else is a fool. You know, like it's a matter of perspective at some level. To who you see as a fool and who's not.
Right.
So
I think that the most intelligent person is he who can admit that he is not the most intelligent person.
Right.
Because as we've always said, we know what we don't know, and you should always want to know more.
I mean, I can count it by the number of people who are smarter than me on Twitter, which seems to be everybody, that I definitely am. I have a limit of my knowledge, and I can't, you know, I'm not, I would never call myself dumb. In fact, I think I'm pretty smart, but there's always more I can learn. There's always more things to, you know, I'm not ever going to reach the pinnacle of smartness.
Right.
And you're always a fool with regard to something.
I think that the most frustrating thing is the really smart troll. That gets me.
I would push back on that just a little bit because I think it's a really practiced troll.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes they might be smart, but more often than not, they have a practiced response to each thing that you argue.
So you're saying a memorized spiel.
More often than not, that's what I run into.
Got it.
I'm not saying always, but more often than not.
All right. Well, let's skip ahead a couple pages to page 323 and read Philosophy with Noodles. And this makes me think...
Wait, what?
Philosophy with Noodles.
Okay.
This makes me think that Joey or Phoebe from Friends could have this conversation with somebody. Okay? And that's what a lot of these are, in my opinion. It's your Joeys and your Phoebes.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay.
From Friends.
From
the
Friends.
show.
The
TV show.
Yes.
I was just clarifying for anybody that might not know what we're talking about.
Okay. Once a proposal of marriage was brought to a young man who was simple-minded. Poor fellow, he had no idea how to behave in the company of others. And so, in order to save him from embarrassment, his father, who was a man of the world, cautioned him as follows. When you visit the bride for the first time, you no doubt will not know what to talk about. Therefore, if you want to make a good impression on her, here is my advice. First, begin talking about love. Then you can touch on family affairs. You can wind up with a little philosophy. The groom nodded gravely and replied that he understood perfectly well how he was to behave. Mm-hmm. Then, with his father's blessings, he went off to make his first call on his intended. At first, he felt great restraint because the girl's parents were present, but when they left from motives of delicacy, he relaxed somewhat. Then, remembering his father's counsel, he suddenly asked the girl, "Do you love noodles?" "Sure," she answered in surprise. "Why shouldn't I love noodles?" After a moment of silence, he continued, "Do you have a brother?" "No, I have no brother." The groom rejoiced. He had safely weathered his father's first two instructions. He had talked about love and family matters. Mm-hmm. Now he still had to philosophize a bit. He asked, furrowing his brow, "If you had a brother, would he have loved noodles?" I mean, tell me that's not...
That was fantastic.
Yeah, I really liked that little story. Yeah. All right, so now we're getting into the Chelm stories.
Okay.
So Chelm is... they're stories about the fools or sages, as they are scoffingly called. And Chelm is a real town in Poland. Okay. Mm-hmm. And for some unaccountable reason, this town was elected in irreverent folktale to serve as the center of all innocent stupidity. So in this...
I must visit this place.
Well, in this, I always think of Rose from the Golden Girls.
Sure.
Because, she's always talking about the village that she comes from.
Yeah.
Which I cannot remember.
I wonder if it's called... That'd be interesting.
It's not Chelm.
Right.
It's not. It's St. Olaf.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So, but that's what I had in mind when they were talking about, for whatever reason, the town of Chelm just related to Rose's St. Olaf.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So,
maybe it was on purpose, even. That would be interesting.
I wouldn't go that far, but...
it might, though.
I don't know. I think throughout history, we've always said, man, this town is full of dummies. Mm. And that way we have a character that can represent that entire town.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay, so skipping ahead to page 331, we've got a short story called Innocence and Arithmetic. And this definitely sounded like something Rose would say.
Got it.
Okay. A young scholar of Chelm, innocent in the ways of earthly matters, was stunned one morning when his wife gave birth.
Oh, damn.
Pell-mell, he ran to the rabbi. "Rabbi," he blurted out, "an extraordinary thing has happened. Please explain it to me. My wife has just given birth, although we have been married only 3 months. How can this be? Everybody knows it takes 9 months for a baby to be born."
It sure does.
We do know that, don't we?
Yeah.
Even the fool knew it.
Right.
The rabbi, a world-renowned sage, put on his silver-rimmed spectacles and furrowed his brow reflectively. "My son," he said, "I see you haven't the slightest idea about such matters, nor can you make the simplest calculation. Let me ask you, have you lived with your wife 3 months?" "Yes." Has she lived with you 3 months? Yes. Together, have you lived 3 months? Yes. What's the total then? 3 months plus 3 months plus 3 months.
Oh my God.
9 months, Rabbi. Then why do you come to bother me with your foolish questions? So Rose.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And like that's the kind of dumbness that I couldn't convey because I just can't.
Right.
Like what I was trying to say in the beginning when I couldn't come up with a better example of dumbness, because I find that kind of dumbness in stories irritating.
Sure, it's on purpose dumb.
Yeah. It's not my humor. It's oh my God, I see where this is going and I can't.
Right.
I'm too impatient for it.
Sure.
Okay, so moving ahead to page 337, We've got a story called Pure Science.
Pure Science, okay. Mm-hmm.
2 sages of Chelm got involved in a deep philosophical argument. Since you're so wise, said one sarcastically, try to answer this question. Why is it that when a slice of buttered bread falls to the ground, it is bound to fall on the buttered side? But as the other sage was a bit of a scientist, he decided to disprove this theory by a practical experiment. He went and buttered a slice of bread. Then he dropped it. There you are, he cried triumphantly.
Right.
The bread, as you see, hasn't fallen on its butter side at all. So where's your theory now? Brum, brum, brum. Ho-ho, laughed the other derisively. You think you're smart? You buttered the bread on the wrong side.
What the fuck?
Right?
That's ridiculous.
All right. Next we have Overcoming Messiah. And that's just the very next one. So we're still on page 337.
Okay.
Itzig, the landowner, a leading citizen of Chelm, startled his wife Chashi by storming into the house with the news that the Messiah was coming. Was at that very moment only a few hours' journey from Chelm. But the news somewhat dismayed Itzig somewhat. I have only recently built this home, he said, and have invested our funds in cattle. And besides, I have just finished sowing our crops. I hate it when the coming Messiah,
interferes with that.
Right. Chashi calmed him, declaring philosophically, don't worry. Think of the trials and tribulations our people have met and survived. The bondage in Egypt, the wickedness of Haman, the persecutions and pogroms without end. All of these the good Lord has helped us overcome. And with just a little more help from him, we will overcome the Messiah too. Like, way to lose the needle,
Right, yeah.
Like, lose the thread is what I meant to say.
Yeah, I was like, what did you just say?
Lose something.
Yeah, you lost. Yeah.
I lost my brain. Okay, so the next page, 338, we've got the Worriers of Chelm.
Okay.
The people of Chelm were worriers, so they called a meeting to do something about the problem of worry. A motion was duly made and seconded to the effect that Yossel, the cobbler, be retained by the community as a whole to do its worrying, and that his fee be 1 ruble per week. So they're going to let him do the worrying. He's going to do
all the worrying, yeah right.
Which, that reminded me of The Giver, where they have one person do all the stress for the entire community.
Got it. And that's a book/movie, is that right?
It's a book that was, yes, adapted into a not as good as it could have been movie.
Right, got it.
The book was wonderful.
Sure.
I think by Lois Lowry, if I'm correct.
Sounds right, maybe.
But it's really good book.
Okay.
But anyway, the motion was about to carry, so they were about to agree that this guy the cobbler, is going to do the worrying for them.
Right.
And get paid for it.
Sure.
The motion was about to carry, all speeches having been for the affirmative, when one sage propounded the fatal question. If Yossel earned 1 ruble a week, what should he have to worry about? Indeed. The next story is on the next page, called 339, The Discreet Shamus. A man died suddenly in Chelm while doing business in the marketplace, so the rabbi sent the shamus to the dead man's wife. Be careful, he cautioned him, and break the news to her as gently as possible. Okay?
Yep.
The shamus knocked. A woman came to the door. Does the widow Rachel live here? He asked.
Oh my God.
I'm Rachel, and I live here, replied the woman, but I'm no widow. Ha ha! Laughed the shamus triumphantly. How much do you want to bet you are?
Oh my God.
And that reminds me of a little story of my own. Do you recall that I said I'm a fool?
What?
Do you recall that I said I am a fool?
I guess.
I fuck shit up.
Sure.
I'm a dum-dum.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so one time last week, I was at my best friend's house, and one of the family had just purchased a new set of pajamas for their little one that I babysit. Yeah. Oh, you know this story.
Yeah.
Yes, I am a fool, am I not?
Yes.
So these pajamas were made of the softest material, like some kind of spandexy, what is that stuff called? But it feels like a very thin velvet. It's so fucking soft, right? Yeah. And so they're like, they're trying to keep it secret from the little guy, the toddler, because it's going to be one of his eventual birthday or Christmas presents.
Right.
So, they're covertly, passing the package around and passing it, using words like night clothingses or, PJs, like not saying the word pajamas or jammies.
Right.
So it comes to me and I'm feeling them and I'm like, oh my God, I wish I had pajamas like these. And everybody in the room, like, it was like a record scratch. They stopped. Their eyes got big. They all turned and looked at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And that is when, my friends, I just sat up straight and I carried on conversation by saying, once when I was a child, I was playing Pictionary with my family. And my dad was drawing something so that my mom and my sister had to guess what it was. And I was on his team. So I looked at his horrible, abysmal drawing and I said, but Daddy, that doesn't look like a pretzel. And that's exactly the kind of person that I am, which is why I always tell people, do not tell me your secrets. I will inadvertently blab them to the world.
Right.
So, fool indeed.
All right. Well, that was all we have today for the Jewish folklore.
Sacrilegious Book Club.
That's right.
Yes. Ooh, and next time we'll be getting into schlamils and schlamazels.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's just more fools.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, more fools and simpletons and stuff like that.
Got it. Well, as soon as we get this one up, I will be getting the weekly replay ready, which will be coming out shortly after this comes out. And then on Monday, we will be back with the new Proverbs.
The new Proverbs.
Yeah,
Proverbs,
whichever number that is.
I want to say it's like 26 or 7.
I think it's 26, actually. Yeah. I think that's right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So we will see you guys then.
Yep. Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.